REM was lower, which is interesting. Although I'm gonna blame my daughter for a little bit of it. She's in this new thing where it's like she wants us to make up stories, and I'm always like telling her like like it's storytelling at bedtime, but like we're making it up together, which sometimes it gets fun, and then all of a sudden she weasels her way into like a later bedtime. And good thing the game was boring, because like at that time it was the second half, and I really didn't care that much about the Super Bowl. But it's been a good afternoon, or midday, I suppose, because it's early afternoon. We'll see. I'm only in one position left, but this one could cause the first LFT this afternoon. We'll see about that, because it's AMD. Tesla's back underneath VWAP. Nvidia's still holding a lot of strength. Uber is, maybe not. Okay, so Uber is not going to break the high of the day. Uber is very close to breaking the high of the day here, and we'll see if it can go. But just sort of finding these dip by longs has been pretty good. I've been both long and short SMCI as well, so you're still in the long there. But the market up 1.2. I thought we had a shot at 2% today, but kind of slowed down a bit. I blame Apple and Tesla for the reason we can't get there.
Guys, we're in 6 positions right now. Big Bear, MNTS, Palantir, SMCI, the futures, and Uber. Needless to mention, it's been quite the afternoon. You could definitely say that again. Dip by the futures off VWAP. We've been holding on to Uber. We weren't here when this happened, unfortunately, but it goes right into 77. That should be a long for everybody again. Big Bear AI, same thing, man. I mean, we just, we had done this right when we left you guys at 11 o'clock. Was that dip by at 850, trying to play off that bottom. Big Bear AI getting some of that money back. Palantir, I mean, what up, Ozan? Palantir up $2.20 right now and continuously going. So SMCI is my most recent trade. I mean, Neil's just talking about it. We only stay long. So there's the long there at 41 break. It comes back in. We buy 41.75s, and then it just rips up again for us. So SMCI, just a bunch of fun here in the afternoon as we sit here, crack some jokes, make some money, get in and out. Is what it is, And I said to Neil, it's like so funny. We have all these trades. Like I'm long. I've traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names today, and I'm going to be only down on 2 of them, Tesla and Big Bear AI, yet be red. So it's like I'll be 6 and 2 there, but it's all about position sizing. We talk about that, right? It's like Neil and I have all these ideas, yet can't put up a huge green day. So, we'll figure it out. We do put those days up, and I'm glad to be flat today. But again, too many shares early there. Not too many shares on Big Bear, but we had wound up losing and got dropped out right there. Nope, that's my sell. It was right here. When it came back in, dropped it out there. We didn't lose really too much else. And then really Big Bear is not the problem. It was Tesla. Tesla, we kept on going short. And then eventually we don't have that move on the way down. So, we oversized there on Tesla, giving our day basically flat here. But yeah, again, that's why I keep talking about it. Sizing is so important. But I'll still take it though. 6 and 2 day, the things are working out right. We just got to get a little bit better on the main idea there with the size. So yeah, man, so far so good here on the day. We can get green immediately. It's just a matter of having some of these still continuously going, like SMCI. If that can go, then great. But I have all obviously the top P&L names and then the top P&L red names. So relatively flat day over on this side.
Oh yeah, we'll be back. We're gonna give you guys for sure the names that we're going over, like the usual rundown. Joe's just prepping here for in place of Sharif, doing a great job, and thanks to Obi for stepping in there for Sharif. So I know you guys voted on the names, and I know you guys voted along on the Playmaker poll, which obviously again is going to win. It was one of those mornings, and I think, for myself, it really was just one too many trades on Tesla, which was 2, and it should have been 1. It's that simple. It came into VWAP, tested VWAP once, but for some reason, I've decided to get into it again. And that basically is the entire difference in my day. That's the difference between a flat day and an up day. Is just, I could have taken this trade one time, but I took it twice. It never really set up that great short. You could make an argument, yeah, there were shorts in there off the 62 level, but we're playing it off of VWAP, and I shorted it twice out and about above VWAP. That said, all of the usual suspects, I shouldn't say all of the usual suspects, because not everything is looking good today. Nvidia is looking pretty strong. It did give you that VWAP dip and then went back to the sidebar action or sideways action at the 134 as we're still looking at it. I see Celery 2 in there. You asking us this? You still own BTC? I do. I haven't sold any Bitcoin. And yeah, I'm really not planning on it either.
No.
No, the only, if I do any selling, it'll actually, and I keep saying I'll do this and I haven't done it. If I do any selling, it would be to sell the Canadian purpose ETF to put it into the US one, which has, like slightly lower fees. But that would be about it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's funny that both of our worst stocks there are Tesla, and I agree with Neil, man, that is the difference there. So yeah, if we both don't trade Tesla, it's a different day, right? But we're on it, and that's fine. I mean, we got to be here for opportunities. I'm still here for SMC. We can make it all back just on SMCI alone. So yeah, we'll be flat on the day here, heading into the after hours program. It should be good. We do have a bunch of earnings. We'll talk about the earnings sort of board there for the week. It should be a very, very exciting week for sure. But okay, I am no more excited than to get on with the programming because we've got Joe over there at the green screen.
All right, guys, welcome to the afternoon rundown. I'm in for Sharif today, guys. So make sure you tune into the midday and get those votes in because today we got a lot to talk about. Let's start with Palantir here, guys. So Palantir adds Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok to its AIP. We know that this stock has been on an absolute monster run. Alex Karp and company had an extremely high blowout quarter, fantastic numbers. This company is in an extensive growth cycle. Let's see what the boys think about Palantir.
Extensive growth cycle.
Yeah, I mean, very accurately put there, Joe. Yeah, and it's extensively growing the portfolio, both on the personal side of things, and today it is the #1 P&L name on the show, and it's not even close. It's Palantir. And there's the break there at 113, straight up. It's just like, we had talked about this, we took this live on the show, we punched it on the show, we took it, we're doing it live. And all the way to the upside, man, it was fantastic. Should have been buying this down here at 110. Look, I mean, Palantir every day has these moves, and it's absolutely wild off open. It can go down and up like $3 easily. Like this was the open the other day when it just kept going right off 100 all the way to 110 by 11 o'clock. That's 10% an hour and a half off the open the day before. You know, you open at 100 again, you go up to 104, and then all the way back down to 100. So you go up and down, 4% up, 4% down in the first 15 minutes. So wild, wild, wild. And today it was the same thing. Palantir all the way to the downside there. I mean, you could have been long. Like I like this trade. Like I said, this is the #1 trade here today, P&L wise. So I think that's what we grade these trades on, right? There it goes. Nice move. I mean, at the end of the day, that move down, you could be long at 109 there on Palantir, but good move. We had talked about this earlier. We had looked at this 110. Shout out to T-Money. That was like, yo, this at your 110. And I was looking at it and was like, oh, man, I'd much rather test it down here. Wasn't too sure. And then it was just blow up. And then we're like, well, we got to take the 113. So we took that long, and then the rest is history. So really glad that we have this one as we're starting to get a little bit higher right now. As Uber still moving. Uber's at the high of the day. We're still long on here. The futures, we're still 55 handles in the money right now. SMCI is trying to get going. So yeah, really great day. Really love Palantir. Like I said, a big trade. I think we can continue to do that tomorrow, but we'll wind up making and losing the same on Palantir and Tesla, which was what the sucky thing is out of it all. So, all right, that's Palantir.
Yeah, I think anytime Palantir gives you that kind of a dip, for the lesson of the day, we're talking about this specifically, like this dip and rip, and it's just a capitulation 830 candle right off of the open, and then just maybe trapping some people short at a bare minimum, rinsing some people out of maybe some swing longs, whatever it might be, and then the clean breakout. There were two names that did this exact same setup. I just took a firm instead of Palantir. There's your bottom. I think when you look at a setup on a bullish stock, it's the same thing: capitulation candle and take a breakout long. Try to keep it simple. When Palantir does it, it's also doing it in a massive upward trend, right? So you've got the long-term trend going with you, and then you have some of the weaker hands on the gap up that get rinsed. Not rinse is the wrong word, but get driven out at that open. And anyone that's bearish looking for shorts, sometimes like they're in that short and looking for reloads. Like I look at that and say to myself, well, if Palantir was that setup and Affirm was that setup and I liked it, like why? Like Tesla was a very similar story. And I got to ask myself, when Tesla did the exact same thing, why looking short? I would argue Tesla didn't blow out as much to the upside, but that's because Tesla's in a downtrend. So it's a good setup on upward trending stocks when you get that wipeout bottom.
Good look there, guys. We got a lot of big names to talk about today, and now we are going to talk about Nvidia beating on its 8 previous quarters, and I expect nothing less this quarter. We know what happened with that DeepSeek news. Now, what does that mean for Nvidia? That people don't need as much computing power? I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case here. We have now recovered off of those lows, as low as 17% off the highs, losing $700 billion at the lows in market cap. Now recovering a lot of that here. This sentiment in this stock, I think, has flipped. Let's see what the big boys think about that.
Nvidia.
Yeah, that's, I guess to the extent that there was a sentiment, I don't know that there was a sentiment shift necessarily. That's not that fair, because if you look at it from the DeepSeek low, like there was a couple of days there was a pop, and then you kind of made a fresh low, but that didn't last very long in this little downward shift to only be right back at the 50-period moving average on the daily. So, you know, you could make the argument that last week, I think, is when it retested that bottom, and that was the sentiment shift, like right in here. And it's just been a long every single day. And I don't think we've been doing anything but going long on Nvidia every single day since that double test of the DeepSeek low, I guess if that's what we're calling it. So it was a breakout trade today and then a VWAP trade today. And pretty much every single day, as long as Nvidia is in this trend, it's a look for the prior resistance level. In this case, in a breakout, it'll be prior resistance or the prior support level from the previous day. If you don't get either of those and it just starts trending against you, look for the afternoon VWAP dip or the lunchtime VWAP dip on Nvidia. When it trends up, those tend to work for you. And they did again today. Like, this is just a very good stock. And I'm glad in the midday this was also pointed out, because I saw a few people screaming about, not screaming, but posting about Broadcom. You know, and that was another good long in here today. And when I pulled it up, I'm like, oh yeah, Broadcom's really close to a breakout. So there is another, oops, not split adjusted, there is another bounce off 50 period trending back up into a nice potential flat top break. So we're at 35, Broadcom's $2 away from breaking this out on the daily. And this is what you want to do. You want to go long in the strong stocks. And there's a bunch of them in the chip space.
All right. I want to talk about, we're going back to the desk. Okay. Yeah, I missed Nvidia today. We're on SMCI. That's not going to be on there, but SMCI is a pretty top stock right here again today. So buy the dips. I mean, we really like it. I was yelling it out all midday too. Not all midday. I mean, I got back here about 12:30 or so and was mentioning it to Obi and to Joe. So, yeah, we noticed this right away. Obviously, that VWAP right there was so awesome. We'll wait to see tomorrow night. Join me. And I don't know if we're doing a bunch of us, but it'll be me and Adara for sure tomorrow night. But it's a big one. I can't wait to go over the earnings board as the show continues. So we'll do that. Okay.
It may be the most anticipated chip.
Where's Joe at?
Well, I was going to say, maybe the most anticipated chip earnings that aren't Nvidia could be SMCI, just because when you have a delay like this, there's a lot at stake. It's been driven down so far. There's just so much room for it to rally.
Oh. We just
go ahead.
No, I forgot to update it because
no, it's cool. I was just killing time.
I got it. I just want to say, like, right there, we did get some out of SMCI. I want to zoom in a little bit to show you guys here at 30s. It is trying to figure itself out. I had mentioned the futures before at these levels, and it's like we're right here again. So, like, I love the retest at the VWAP, break day's high, go, retest VWAP again, but this time not getting today's high. So the fact that we're hella long here means we have to start trimming some. So I just want to go over some of that. Like we Palantir, we got out at 1550, and another piece right there after we're long. So that's going to be a good one. I'd rather hold that one into the close for sure if I can. And then the market, we are right there. That's our last out right there. So again, in, out, that's been pretty good. We only have now on the market figuring out the math, about 10% left. This is a big one. It's SMCI and the market are the big ones for me left. So I just wanted to bring over that. And then Big Bear AI, I'm going to see if it wants to go, see if we can get our money back from the early loss there. We've gotten some back for sure, but we need to get it all back. Oh, we don't need to. That'll be revenge trading. 940, 950 is where I'm offering on Big Bear. All right, Big Joe, what do you got?
Here, guys, a lot to talk about with this stock here. Stifel maintains a buy on Tesla, lowers price target to 474. We know there's a lot going on with this name. Apparently, Elon says that come June, he's going to release a robo fleet in Austin, much anticipated. I think a lot of us are looking forward to this as well, too. We know that they missed on some revenue and EPS here in the recent earnings report. I'm really curious to see if Tesla can turn things around. The primary trend's still intact here, guys, but from a secondary standpoint, we are headed to the south side and running into some potential support systems. Let's see if we can bounce off of these levels, guys.
Potential support systems, eh?
I hope so. I loved the debate this afternoon or in the middle of the day. Is Tesla a car company? Is it not? Like, what are they? They're all of these. It's all of these things. Of course, it's all of the above. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it about AI and robotics? Sure. But are they cars? Yeah, they sell
most cars in the world.
Yeah, they sell more EVs than anybody else out there. So like,
they sell more cars.
I think it's just fun. Like, it's a fun exercise to have. But it all comes down to, and the only thing I disagree with Joe on is I'm not sure we're still in an uptrend on Tesla. Okay, I guess it depends. If you go really, it depends on your time frame. But when I look at the daily chart, I feel like we're in a bit of a downtrend on Tesla. And it's been put in the lower highs. You just recently broke the 375 support, 380 support, whichever one you want to call it, and it's been breaking down ever since. If you're at a big level, like the 360 we're at now, and then I guess like 330, like that range seems like it should be big support. And if you lose that, the 200 period's so far down there, like that's like a stink bid gift if you're able to get it. But I think we're still in a little bit of a downtrend. All that said, I'm still slapping the fail on the short today because it just wasn't in the right place. You know, sometimes you want that trend down short where you're shorting the pops on a downtrend, but really, this was just about the prior close. You know, Tesla, if you were really patient with it, it tried to go green, and when it failed green, that was the optimal short. So I think tomorrow, if it's presumably, like right now, you're looking weak relative to the market. If it kind of stays on that downtrend, just a little bit more patience with it. That said, anything can happen. The market's strong. Like, you could blow right back up through this. If it's gapping through, if it's breaking out to 62, 63, and we're gapping above, then I'm probably not thinking short. I'm thinking shorts tomorrow if it continues this, red day after red day. There's a chance to go green today, so it remains to be seen whether we still like it short.
Look, without trading Tesla today, I would be green, and we lost. I mean, it's on here right here. I lost basically my daily sort of target there that we sometimes hit like at 935, 940, and we've made it all back. It's just Tesla's still the reddest name. So it's just a matter of now being flat on the day, but having to battle back from this. We just kept going short. We wrote down 366 as our short. We should not have got involved, and I agree with Neil. It's just not disciplined enough to go back into it. But look, we were short on VWAP, short on the 50. It was working a little bit. Then this is where we should have really got away from it. Tesla, again, I really love the stock. It's pretty much, it's been a top stock of mine. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm mad at this, because I'm not. We lost we basically lost like a tenth kind of like our maximum loss. But at the end of the day, just right into here, it was wrong. This was wrong, that we kept on getting out, then blast up. This trade is pretty flat. It was really this one right here at 357 that we got stubborn with this 200 period. Potentially, we should have left it alone and only tried that, then lost it there. But again, I spoke about it before. Like, I feel like VWAP was good there, VWAP was good there. So I'm not going to hate on that. Just maybe get away from it. That's all. Try it once, maybe not twice. I'm fine with this one because that was at the pre-market high. But at the end of the day, hey man, it's a red stock, and I will go back to it, but now I'm waiting. Charlie Taff in the chat there was saying that he or she was short, still 362. I mean, what a great level. These are the levels that you dream about. We talked about with Nvidia down there at 128, 129. When you start seeing tops like this, you know you have it. So congratulations. But we are really starting to go off right now, and this is why this smile is just right here right now. SMCI. I mean, our day is getting to Greensville, so SMCI right now with a nice move. I'm going to get a piece out here at 45 as I don't have any offers until the high of the day break. Noticing that this is going, we'll watch out and see if we can get a piece, although now it's trying to give me those. I'm at 45s. So what I do now is I offer these trades because I have tons of fills, right? So I can't just, all right now I'm going to offer 35s as it's pushing down. There it goes. All right, so the reason, we actually got that 45 fill, okay. So I offer those positions because we get paid to get filled there. I actually didn't realize we got 45. So we get a 45 there and a 35, starting to get lighter on SMCI. But FYI, we still have 40% of it from here. So that's how many shares we have. We're just taking pieces out, lots out as we go higher. 41.80 high of day. That's where we're sitting right now. All right, Joe, it's meta time.
So good luck there, my guys, on Tesla, that is. But now let's talk a little bit about Meta here. So Meta is reportedly planning to roll out 6 new innovative wearable devices powered by AI, launching in 2025. As revealed by the CTO, Andrew Bosworth. So really good look here, guys. We know that day after day, this thing has continued to climb higher. At what point do you guys see a peak in this stock?
Oh, there it is. Charlie.
You got to call a top on Meta? I don't know.
I actually like Charlie as a girl's name. That would be one of the ones that I would choose.
Firestarter.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
It's that's an old movie.
Okay. I got you. But anyways, I like the name Charlie.
I do like. Well, I was gonna say actually. I do like it as well, and it's was Drew Barrymore in Firestarter.
Yes.
They made a really
yes. I saw something Drew Barrymore the other day.
They made a remake of that movie, and it was really terrible. Sometimes it's like the original is just perfectly good.
Yeah.
When will Meta make a top? When will Meta's top be?
Never.
You know what? I don't know.
It will never make a top.
I think the streak might end today, though. What was it? What did we say? 15.
Was it red today?
Well, it's dead flat when the market's up 1.3%. So it could still happen. Now our charts, we're gonna have it like from open to close for like red green. Obviously, previous close to the next day's close. That's actually the thing that matters the most. But we do it from open to close. It's still barely green, but it's very clearly weak. I think this actually has a chance that it could be the red day for Meta today. You have a bit of a flat bottom break. There you go. You have a bit of a flat bottom break. It's 713 were to fail. I think you can see a little bit of a pullback, and that would cause it to be the first red day in 13. But their P is reasonable compared to the other Mag 7. I mean, yeah, like the stock. I don't think there's that much of a long trade today because it's just so weak relative to the market. I think the streak has a decent chance ending today, but that doesn't mean anything.
Look, Meta's a big holding of mine. I like the stock. I'm never getting out of it. There is no top. It's going higher. New programs out. You just mentioned it. New wearables. People are going to love that. The glasses are pretty hype. Sharif wears them to clubs. It's going to be absolutely great. We'll figure it out. No, he told us that one story where his friend wore it to a club. And
I'm not down with that.
Very odd. So I think that, yeah. So you got to watch out for that. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's a new technology, right? So, I like Meta. You can actually trade. I think it was, shout out to Danielle Shea or whoever mentioned it. It was Met. I thought it was you. What is it? There's a Meta. Anyways, someone will tell it to me. But anyways, there's a Meta ETF where you can go. There's ETFs for every single thing right now. But I was just going to say, if you don't want to trade a $700 name, which, by the way, this is what I'm saying, they're going to split again. And when they do, then it's just giddy up. Like, I cannot believe, we talked about Palantir being a 10-bagger. I mean, we're loading this thing up in the $100 marker. We've sold some, but this has been an absolute monster off COVID bottoms. So I really think Meta continues to work. Like, I don't see any reason for it not to. The technology is there. It seems like now they're going to have a clean bill of health with the new administration. Like, so if this guy can stay off of like DOJ's mind and all that kind of stuff. Like, we had Microsoft today. I think maybe it was Ireland, but Microsoft came down, someone did something to Microsoft today and they just said, oh, that's nice, we'll just pay the fine. Like, whatever it is, right? Like, those kind of things. And obviously Microsoft's not the same. This is all the way to the downside there. It is METU. Okay, so we just don't have it. So at least I feel, okay, is it maybe on the Amex? No, so we don't have it at all. So anyways.
you?
No. It is met you. I've looked at it before. It's just maybe not on our chart. So, anyways, yeah, good call there. But all right, let's go back over to the desk. I just wanted to say, like, big cap tech continues to work. Oh, and by the way, here we go. This is why we're getting excited to get positive again. There is SMCI. So here we go, man. Almost $1 in the money, and we still got 40% on this trade. So this is turning the frown upside down all day. All right, let's go back over to the screen and finish this off with, hey, a trade that I like with Google.
Hey, good look there, Sean. So BofA Securities analyst Justin Pratt maintained a buy rating on Alphabet, leaving that price target to $225. We know that the street is looking at this CapEx and some of these big names with AI spend. I'm really curious to see if Google can recover off of these lows, especially after a report, guys.
You traded Google today. I wanted to make a comment because you mentioned Microsoft, and we know who cares if you get antitrust stuff. If you're a Mag 7 name and there's no antitrust concerns, that means you're not doing it right because they're all supposed to be so big that they should have the ire of regulators. Microsoft is a problem relative to all the others. This is all I wanted to point it out. Like it's on support and it's on life support at this 410-ish level, where it feels like this is one that could end up in a bit of a downward trend out of the Mag 7 names. That's the one I'd be concerned about here is Microsoft. I didn't trade Alphabet today, but I think like it's one of my bigger holdings and I love them. I think you get a little bit of everything with them when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to robotics, when it comes to automated driving, when it comes to data center, when it comes to AI, when it comes to quantum computing, and I probably missed something. But you get a little bit of everything with them. I don't know that there's a company that gives you that so much as Google.
Yeah, no, Google's probably is my largest holding, but I think it's Google or Nvidia, but it might be Meta. I'm way too long all these names. All right. Oh, Google. Okay, so yeah, I traded it. That's too bad because we had left and we did not get any out at the top right there as we reloaded it at VWAP. We probably would have gotten some out, but at the end of the day, we weren't sitting at our desk. We had to stop there at this level. It does stop us out. Then we got in and out there. That was a keystroke error. Like, wake up, man. We didn't trade it. That was just back and forth right there. I was on the wrong stock. That was probably supposed to be SMCI, actually, so we got into that, which was good. But at the end of the day, I was going to try to go long 187. So I like this long break. The only problem is now the market's coming back in. I just got filled on SMCI at 55 or so. I'm going to take another piece out as we are starting to come back in. I'm going to take 5% out again. So there we go. So we took back-to-back 5% out. So we only have 30% left now of SMCI as it's fading back in just a little bit. So I want to do that. But no, I like Google. I think it works. It's over with now. We've already talked about that it was not set up properly into earnings. It was already quite well off. The last time it was this high, past the 50 period, it faded back out. So it just happened again for the earnings. I'm not in love with this stock. I just don't want to sell it. I think there's better names. I'd rather be longer in Meta. I'd rather be longer in Amazon. So for example, I didn't dip buy any of this. I dip bought Nvidia and Intel. I put a starting position on under 20 bucks. So I prefer all of those right now than Google. So we'll have to wait for that. And in fact, I actually prefer the S&P 500 more than Google right now. I'm just overexposed to it, basically, and we're gonna have to wait to see what happens. I'm only 5 to 7% in Bitcoin right now in total investing portfolio.
So there is FBL is a Meta 1.5 times long ETF.
FBL.
But here's the problem. I thank you in the chat for Cajun Trade. And the issue with this one, I know you guys are talking about just things that you can trade that are not as expensive for Meta. The volume on that's real. That FBL just doesn't have a lot of liquidity. So yes, it's only $48, but it's done 578,000 shares. That's sort of the issue. You want one of those ETFs to be, if you're going to trade it as a day trade instead of Meta, you want there to be volume and liquidity. So 578,000 is not going to cut it, but it's a good look. And I know everyone's always looking for those things that allow them to express the trade where they want to. And that's important. Going to get to Uber in a quick little second. It's going to break the high in a second now.
$2.
But here comes AMD just came through VWAP or 2 VWAP. I was covering in front of this 110 half prior resistance. So I bought the dip into that level. It got up to almost to 111, but now you're pulling back. I'm not thinking short on this. It was actually Intel. So someone asked in the chat, is AMD a short? Intel's trying to break through VWAP, and if this consolidates under VWAP, I would look short on that chip name. But Uber, I traded it once off the 78 level here today, and now it's just for 15 minutes now. Here, now you can see better. For 15 minutes, it has been just basing out at the 78 level. Don't like high of the day breaks at this time of day, but if it does the old, hey, let's false break the high, I want to buy the dip on any false break on Uber. Essentially, I just traded it off 78 at VWAP. If it pulls back into the $0.50, I think it's a continuation long. Uber's been on one. It was a Lyft story. What was it? It was a Lyft and
Sticky Note.
Mobileye.
Yeah, it was Lyft, Mobileye, and Sticky Note. You guys can see right here on the Sticky Note, we had Uber long 77, even before anything Lyft related. And of course, it was Bill Ackman from last week there on Uber. But where is it? There it is right there. So we had Big Bear on watch today. We had Nvidia. It's too bad that we missed the Nvidia, honestly. We had the Tesla 366 short, which hasn't come in. By the way, SMCI is trying to go higher again. But there's the Uber long 77. Ackman pushed it. We talked about that, so we'll watch the continuation on that play. So as you can see for Uber, I mean, we just went long right here, and now we're $2 in. We went long right there early, and because it was early, as Neil mentioned there, it got bumped up with Lyft. So we had gotten some out, and then it just went upside, and now you're at the high of the day. I'm going to put a stop. Unbelievable. I mean, if you even knew where the stop was, I mean, the stop is like 20 cents lower, so we'll take a $2 winner on this. But right into there, breaking the 50-period moving average, we might as well get out. 78, I'm going to just push it down a little bit. I'm just going to leave it to here, 78.40s. So let's go 78.39. We'll get out of there. Obviously, I mean, that wick is 40. Yeah, okay, that wick is 40s. I'll be fine. We'll get out if it does do that. Small piece, man. Like less, we have 2.5% left on Uber. So not a big one. I said that we wanted to talk a little bit about this. So let's just do it right now. Adara's been putting out great information here. And I put this out for the earnings calendar. I just want to know here, I'll put this tweet out there in the chat. You guys go over there. Let me know which name you're most excited for right now. So crypto bull run. I mean, I don't think there's any real name. Someone had mentioned there that they're looking for that. I don't know, man. I mean, I think this dude, we just talked about Tuesday after hours, how good that will be there after
I think
market.
that's the best day.
You have Super Micro there. I think that's going to be huge. But I mean, I really like Robinhood there. Cisco's not the greatest, but
but Reddit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what? Every day is Tuesday, Thursday, and Wednesday and Thursday are all ridiculous because Roku, Coinbase, Airbnb, DraftKings, Palo Alto, Applied Materials might be boring, but that's a boringly quality company.
Yeah.
And we know all about, look, PanW we know about, and don't sleep on those morning earnings, man. Like Datadog, that'll move. Friday, yeah, let's just get the worst one out of the way on Friday with Moderna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe the most is at stake for that name. Well, I know SMCI won, but Moderna, that's a bad looking chart, and it wouldn't take much, man, if there's anything good.
This day is going to be nuts because you have Roku. Oh, maybe that's what that guy was talking about in the chat. Coinbase, maybe. DraftKings. I mean, this is going to be a great day, so join us. And then tonight, join Neil and Adara for Vertex and Astera Labs. Okay, so those are some good moves.
We barely mentioned McDonald's, but I think that's one of those this morning.
We'll double check that again.
Like, McDonald's actually had a very good day, which is weird because I'm pretty sure like when I very, very briefly looked at it, it wasn't, like I thought they missed. But I guess who cares? They're loving it anyways with McDonald's. So McDonald's up 5% today. And almost, look at that 200 period again. Almost back to its 52-week high. So McDonald's hasn't been the best stock recently. But yeah, certainly on a run. Maybe you could break this one out in a couple of days. That does look pretty good at McDonald's. I guess they're loving it. I wouldn't call this the best day trade out there. You know, you're going to try to gravitate to better names. But 5%.
I got a McDonald's coffee.
They
have want prize with that.
Hold on a second. What's the...
Want prize with that?
Oh, that's the new promotion. Because you know what throws me off is it's got the same look as the...
Monopoly?
The Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly's gone.
We love the Monopoly in our house.
Yeah.
We end up eating way too much McDonald's for that. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? Is Uber going to even dip?
Yeah, Neil eats
Not
some
yet.
McDonald's. Okay.
There's healthy... You can get like the all-day breakfast. You can get the sausage and egg McMuffin or like the egg BLT. That's actually kind of healthy-ish.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Sort of.
fast food. That's what it's supposed to be. All right. I wanted to look just to see if anything else is moving. All right. SMR is at high of day. Google, Apple, Roblox. So we have this hot list right here that we can look at with E-signal, I'll just call up a 1-minute chart here. Let's look at this together. So here's the hot list. I'll just zoom this back in. We'll see if anything's trading near, near the 200 period moving average. You can also set up an alert indicator for all of this as well. Okay, so right now, I mean, look. We are $2.40 in the money. This is Palantir. Here it goes, right? So Palantir is obviously nowhere near, but it's at near the high of the day. So there you go. We get a change up there. Now, Nvidia's up 4%. Wow. Shout out to Ramin over there. I mean, this dip buy on Nvidia, hopefully, if you're in it with me, great. If not, hopefully it's a lesson. Buy the best names when they go down, honestly. Okay, SMCI, we're already in it as well. So that's going to be a good name there. BTG. I guess right now, okay, that's doing nothing. I don't know why that showed up. Big Bear, obviously a name that we're in. That's coming back in right now. So this is going the wrong way. We've been getting out of some of that. I'll discuss that in a minute, but I don't know if there's anything else new. Oh yeah, Rocket Lab. That's not.
I'm getting into it.
Yeah, it's a $31 name right there. A nice pullback on RKLB. That could be an interesting name to buy. All right, Neil, you better do this.
It's doing a trend reversion right now on Rocket Lab. I actually was looking at my hot list as well and sort of wondering, A, why Ford is on it, and B, I'm going to get into Rocket Lab on this trend reversion. Ideally, I'd have like 31s, but I'll nibble in at 87 here because look at that upward trend, and then you have the big uptrend, which just quintuple topped on a 3-minute chart and starting to pull back. Forget about VWAP. I think any dip that gets you 30s or 30, 40s makes some sense. But there's look at the top of the list. You've got all the right names in there. BP, that was being traded by OB, and Blink, for some reason, is going to be on the trade rate. That one actually surprising, the LNK. But yeah, I'm going to take the reversion here on Rocket Lab. If it breaks a fresh high, easy out. If we pull back into the prior support, easy take profit. To the desk with Adara.
Keep an eye on this Dominari Holdings here, DOMH. This is a small cap. We have about a 4 million share float here. DOMH, no catalyst, not a significant short float, but either way, pushing to high of days here with bit of an increase in volume, DOMH. And for context, it's been about 15 million shares traded on this one in the day. So it's not like we just got a sudden influx here. We've been, I guess, having some kind of volume all day for this ticker. Again, no catalyst, guys. Back to you.
All right, no catalyst.
Dom.
All right.
That one might move fast and furious, apparently. Gotta watch out.
That guy named Dominic in that movie or something?
It's the main guy.
I don't know.
I forget his last name. I've watched. Okay, you know what?
It's Vin Diesel. I guess.
I was about to say I've watched most of them, but then no, I think I've literally seen 3. So that is definitely not most. Maybe 4 I've seen of those. They really got a little out of hand.
Did they? Yeah.
No, they jumped the shark like about 1 million times.
All right, we're going to get another piece out there on Palantir. I don't know if it's going to sit near this high of the day or not for too much longer, but we're going to get out of another piece right now as we get lighter and lighter on these positions. So that's fine. I'm getting a little bit bored with what we have. So we have 6 positions, and I just need to start cleaning some of them out. It's really just SMCI where we have the most shares on. Everything else is just sort of whatever. Like, look at these futures. I might just pack it in. Pack it up, pack it in.
Let me begin.
Yeah, maybe. I battle me. That's a sin or something like that. I forget what it is. House of Pain.
I came to win. Battle me. That's a sin.
Yeah,
you got it.
So right there, 86. We're going to get another piece out right there again as we continue looking for some more trades. Google, SMR, Roblox.
Rigetti?
Rigetti?
Oh, that's coming back.
Yeah,
in.
maybe. Oh, it was Tesla was the one that, it's crazy, like, that this is so low down here, and the only trade we lost on all day pretty much was Tesla. We're going to go 7-2 today and, be flat because we tried this too many times. And I'm comfortable trading it. I just kind of pushing shares. So I'm hoping that it was going to work out in the morning. But I feel really good about it because generally speaking, like looking back at this, if I had lost, like on a name like this, where it was one of the few ideas, we had 5 ideas on here on the sticky note, and generally speaking, like that would be disastrous. We wouldn't make it back, but we made it back. So it's pretty good. We didn't make it back trading Tesla. I'm wondering about this break right here, right now, underneath VWAP, underneath the 50-period moving average. Obviously, this is what's making me nervous about me getting bored. Like, if I'm going to go short Tesla, I should be clearing out of all of these longs, and I'm just not sure. Like, SMCI is fading back out. We only have 30% left. We talked about that, but at the end of the day, a losing trade could still happen here. I'm going to get out if it breaks the 200 period. That's going to be that stop there for that.
Rigetti,
yeah, PayPal. People are looking at that. You have Rigetti on your mind. 97.4. So Another thing I want to look at was IBIT, but maybe.
You mentioned PayPal.
Someone in the chat mentioned PayPal.
Oh, okay.
Just looking at it, but
No, I hadn't looked at that today. I was actually looking at
Tesla is going to break it.
Rigetti here. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, we have to pay for locates on Rigetti. Don't sneeze. But Rigetti had a bad day on Friday, had a bad day on Thursday. Like, kind of, like, look at the pump and, it's not a pump and dump, but I guess the pop and fade on Rigetti. Like, 2 days in a row, pulls into prior high and can't break it and starting to trend back in. Yeah, this looks like a nice opportunity to short off 13. The problem is, and shout out to anyone in the chat that mentioned this, it's not at 13. Someone probably said this when they were already short at 12.90 on that, but that looks pretty solid there on Rigetti. If it can't break 13 this afternoon, I think that looks like a good fade level. And this is nothing against Rigetti. It's just, in this recent upward trend, it seems like it's made a bit of a temporary top, which is what these stocks tend to do. So Rocket Labs, which I didn't hit save. Here, there's that trend. I guess I didn't draw it as well as I did the first time because that should be a little bit higher, but it doesn't really matter. And then it broke this trend to the upside, shorted off the high, going to try to get some out. First stop 30.60, and then you have this 30.40, and then call it 29.80 into 30 even. But Rigetti, I'm going to go ahead and pay for locates on Rigetti because I do like that. If it gets to that 13 level, it'll probably be, I'm guessing, 1/8 of 1 cent here at Real Trading for us to be able to go short on that name. That's the good thing. It's one of the advantages here at Real Trading. Like, there's a bunch of stocks, and I get it. Some people, you might not be able to go short on it, but we have that ability on just about every single symbol. And if we don't, we can just pop in, and in the next 30 seconds, when I type in RGTI, and I'm saying it out loud so I don't type Rocket Labs because I'm on that stock, pop it in there, and then they give you a quote. I can see how much it's going to cost me for the shorts on Rigetti. Oh, I was wrong. It is... What is that? 1/20th of a cent.
Yeah, they're always cheap.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I said 1/8 of 1 cent.
Oh, yeah.
It's 1/20th of 1 cent per share on RGTI. So when Rocket Lab short, Uber is pulling back. So I guess where are we on Uber? It's still trying to put in that higher low off of 78.40. If we come to the chart for a second here. Yeah, trying to put in a higher low. Let's let it trend down in. Either look for a bounce, kind of reversal candle, a little green, and then go back to the upside, or wait for it to get to VWAP. So Uber want to stay on trend with this. If it's not going to clean break 79, then you can always look for the dip buy. Got to double confirm. I always hit enter the first time on the shorts, and then it just sits there, and I have to, are you sure you want to pay for these locates? And then click yes again. So got the locates on Rigetti. If we can get to 13, I'm shorting that.
So we actually have a 10, Phil, 41.10, and then it just popped up again into the 50 period, so now we have 41.30. Getting lighter and lighter on all of this. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting pretty close to thinking about, okay, well, I already broke. I was going to say this 356 again there on Tesla, like sort of the mistakes that we had made earlier.
Yeah, that's it.
Coming in now. So we could have easily gone short there against that 357, give it about $1 and change, which I think is a good trade. Tesla down 1.65% and still going lower, lower, lower. Tonight's earnings, we talked about that with, I wanted to actually talk about, oh yeah, A-Lab, that's the earnings there, Astrolab, right here. So someone, sorry, Astera, in the chat was asking me to look at this. So last earnings move was only 1.5%. This implied move is 6% right now on Astera. So for me, I think it's probably, if you like, I don't know enough about the company, but I don't mind the setup right there, bouncing nicely off the 200 period moving average. However, that was down there at $80, so a nice move up to 110, probably a lot there. Is this the space, the satellite company, I guess, Astera Labs? I'm not, I'll have to look it up, but anyways, I don't know enough about the macro, obviously, but just looking at this, yeah, I'd say there's a chance to get this to 120, but only a 5% implied move is like 110 one way, 95 the other. So not super exciting in the option space, but yeah, Astera Labs. Again, I like it. I don't know if I take a position heading into earnings, but bouncing off the 200 is always a decent spot for sure there.
Hold a second.
Canadian name?
Canadian.
What do they do?
Out of Markham. It says purpose-built connectivity for AI and cloud.
Okay.
AI cloud out of Markham.
It's for cloud?
Which by Markham is just outside of Toronto. None of you guys have any idea what city that is. Of course we do. Just consider it Toronto.
I would never consider Markham Toronto.
No, I mean for Americans.
Oh, for Americans.
Yeah, I know. It just everybody here knows Markham, but nobody is watching the show.
Shout out to everybody from Markham.
Shout out to anybody that happens to be from Markham. Actually, our buddy, who is one of our friends, good friends, a friend from high school, watches the show. I would want to say religiously, was sort of talking up the benefits of like these zero fee trading platforms.
Right.
He started to get a little bit more active. He likes
from Markham? What was that?
Yeah, Wayner's from.
Oh yeah, okay. I was just wondering where he's.
And so I know he's a big Tesla guy and sort of getting in and out of these things, and some of the playing Nvidia and playing iBid and taking advantage of that. And if you're not taking advantage of like zero fees, trading, grab control of your own financial security. It's not saying that everyone has to go in there and be ridiculously active, but if you are somewhat actively trading your own account, there's just so many opportunities out there for you where you don't have to pay a bunch.
We're from Brampton.
Born and raised.
I'm from
the playground.
Of Brampton. Neil's from the rich part of Brampton.
Your house.
I'm sorry, that's why I have this gangster in me. That's why
Straight up gangster.
That's why I'm like, CEO of the stock market.
Yo, but George, I'm just saying, you didn't want to step on George's grass. I'm just gonna throw that out there. George was Tina's pops.
Yeah, my dad.
Yeah, don't step on the grass.
Step on the grass. Yeah, because I just cut it. You don't want you to step on that grass there. And I've been cutting grass since I was like 3 years old. I was working with my dad at like 6 years old in the morning time every summer.
I think I played on one of my Little League baseball teams.
Oh, yeah, it was sponsored by us?
I think so. I wish I had, this is one of those, I wish I had some of those, your old jerseys or whatnot, but I don't have them
a bunch
all.
Of old jerseys like that. I should show you some fun pictures of me dressed up
that's
as a refrigeration mechanic at like 6 or 7 years old, going out on these things, man, learning. I mean, that's why there's no Monday flu. That's why there's nothing. Like, basically, the last time I took a sick day was probably like COVID-ish or something like that. It's like, it's discipline, it's coming in, taking care of yourself, as we talk about that, getting lucky to not get sick, and then just having that grind. Like, I don't remember my father like ever missing a day, but obviously, I think I've gotten like, I was saying this because my brother-in-law, like his family is always sick, like crazy. Like they have kids, young kids. I feel like having young kids builds up your immune system because
I found the opposite.
They go to school and it's like Marissa and I
think
haven't honestly been sick.
Because I've been the opposite. I get sick more now that Erin's going to school.
Yeah,
like I feel like if she gets sick, I'm getting it. Like it's just I can't even avoid it. Like the last time everyone in her class had like this weird stomach flu fever thing, and like I got it, my wife did it. And I'm like, how did you not get this? And I am the one that gets.
She's not weak, man. You know what I mean?
No, it is what it is. But I have a bad tendency to kind of stick it out and be patient zero every now and then. I joke about calling you patient zero. Usually it's me that comes in that first day when I know I'm not feeling well. Because I get up early. I'm like, I get up early. I'm like, I like it, and I'll feel good. I have a shower, and I'm like, oh, crap, by 10 o'clock. I probably shouldn't have come in today. Just one more thing in here. Like Tesla's really losing the bid, and Uber is not bouncing the way I was anticipating. So, still on Rocket Lab. It was Uber that I wanted to get to. So Uber still not really bouncing yet. I'm looking for the reversion here to continue the upward trend on Uber, but it's been all red candles on the 3-minute since this high at 79, which isn't a bad thing. You know what? If Uber never gives a long today, then it's got a very clean 79 break tomorrow, which is perfectly fine. But it's coming into VWAP and at least retesting it. I think that gives you lots of opportunities in the next couple of days here for Uber to get back to some of those highs.
Yeah, Uber, again, a pretty top stock for us. I just got out there. We put our stop in on that break lower. We talked about the market feeling obviously a little bit weak as we get underneath. We've trimmed out a lot of these positions. We were nervous about SMCI. We're getting out of that. Our Qs just came out. So there it is right there at the 200 period. Good trade for the Qs today as well. Like, everything is great. Like okay, so PNL1 is Palantir, PNL2 is SMCI, and then that's about it, right? And then we have Big Bear, which we're trying to get going. That's PNL minus number 2. And then Tesla is going to be my worst trade. Oh, we could have made it. All I had to do was put on like 2 or 3 units, 56 short, and make it all back. And we would have. It's just, don't have that trade. Was debating it. Should have put it on, did not. So good on you if you were to do that there. Yeah, what's up, Charlie? You want the money? There you go. I want to make sure everyone hits a like and subscribe. And we're under 1,000 right now from 500,000 subscribers. So let's get going on that one right now. I'm going to refresh it because I have to let the ad run to see how many people have liked the stream so far. But if you have not, please do that. There it is, Charlie, $7 winner from that Tesla short. Yeah, we called you out earlier, and that was a great call off of 363. I wish I had been there to see that. But this was the only short that I had written down on my platform today. And that platform, of course, is the sticky note. We had it written down here, and of course, we had it too early, and it's my #1 losing trade. So, for that one. Palantir, good couple outs there. I'm going to let that one cook. I'll probably look at Tesla and try to get in on a bounce, but here's all the shorts. And it's just, you know, I don't know what's going to, if I knew it was going to stop there, obviously I would have held it against me. It only had to hold it against me another $1 to get that very top, about $1.50. But unfortunately, too much there. So yeah, I'd like to go short again if this comes maybe back to 356 for Tesla. So we'll look to see if that can come in. That would be the trade. It's only 250. There's lots more trading to go. We talk about being red on the day, but that could change. Like it basically is changing. We just need to find one more good trade. And I don't operate like that. I don't need to be green or anything on the day. I just, for my own personal, like, if we can battle back and get green, that would be great. Like, we're only moments away from that, so one more trade right there. IBIT, SMH, like, I'm still not really seeing anything, but the market is coming down. Maybe we'll have to look at Nvidia. You're on Unity. That might be a good name.
Well, I was just sort of scanning. I just saw Taz in the chat just saying Unity is dead. I'm like, really? Was it that bad today? It's not looking good at all. Nvidia's not doing anything. Like, the only thing...
I mean, Nvidia.
Uber's moving a bit, so I think that's got an opportunity. Tesla's moving. Obviously, Rocket Lab, that was at the top of my trade rate. So we're looking at all the things that are at the top of my trade rate because it's Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, as we just mentioned, Nvidia, Rocket Lab. But Unity's not looking good at all. I'm trying to figure out what happened to this thing in the middle of the day. Like, on volume, just started accelerating to the downside. Like, I get it. If there's no catalyst here, that's not good if there's no catalyst. And the other side of it, can we say $20 break on Unity? I'm just going to throw up on my iPad, like just for myself, like $20 and Unity, and then double check to see when they're reporting. I know we didn't see them this week. I think they
might be there.
February 20th. So that'll be like mid next week. So Unity mid next week. Oh yeah, break this before you get there. And then, because I always want these things to go up that have a decent short float or any kind of a short float. So it would be ideal if it like broke this, gave you a trade under 20, and then did some kind of a reversion bounce off 16 or 17 after the earnings. On the 20th, and shout out to you, Mad World, or kind of, I know what you mean. It's not Mad World, but you spell a little bit differently. Shout out to you. Thanks for another great day so far. That's what it's all about, man. Like Tesla stunk, but just try to find a few things out there that can get it back for you. And as long as it's a good trade, then put on the next good trade. And if there isn't anything, then don't force it. That's what it's all about. Thank you for the super chat there, Mad World. It's about making those good decisions, right? Like if you force things, think about forcing trades, then you could end up in one of those like desperate situations where maybe you're rolling out to your right and you have absolutely no business forcing the ball. But you decide that you're Patrick Mahomes and you're just going to throw one of the ugliest picks I've seen. That
was a great dive by that guy.
Oh, it was.
Patrick Mahomes got hit as he was.
No, he did, but it was still the other pick.
Oh,
the second pick was actually because he was getting he was getting hit. I get it, but the first pick, I don't know what the heck he was doing with the first one. Yeah, like sometimes it's not on the quarterback. He was getting hit.
I think that Mahomes and those guys knew that they were coming into a juggernaut. Like, that Philly team was great.
Their line was so good that one of the biggest winners last night was the kid from the big defensive end from Penn State. Because after watching what Jalen Carter and the Philly D-line did, that dude's he's going #1. I think I think Tennessee's going to take the kid from Penn State because it's a copycat league.
No, they're going to go. No, I already know the play.
Well, they'll trade down for him. Yeah. Well, Tennessee's going to.
Someone will take Sanders. They'll take him at like 2 or 3 because there's only 2 quarterbacks this year.
Ward and Sanders.
Yeah, that are getting first-round grades. So
I think the Titans will stick with Levis for a year, maybe sign a veteran and trade down. Yeah. So that kid is.
I mean, if they suck again, which they probably will with Will Levis, then they can get a quarterback the next year.
And get a better quarterback next year. Like
build your D-line.
Arch Manning. Go get Arch Manning.
Yeah, if he comes out. I think he's eligible.
Better. Casey needs a real running back, says JCB Sports Cards.
Maybe, but the thing is, they're also getting, what's his name back next year, Rashee Rice. So. That should be exciting. All right, only 470 right now likes. So guys, hit the like button right there. What? Click that up. Over 5,000 of you watching. You can put a poll up and get 1,300 people voting. Go over here, open up your little app there on YouTube or on your phone, on your computer, wherever you're watching, and hit the like button. Let's see if we can get to 1,000. I think 1,000 is generally, what we're around there. 5,400 of you watching. I'm going to check back. Let's get that going. All right, so that's too bad, man. I mean, we just put some bids on Nvidia, didn't come in. I was like, we don't want to buy it here, do we? Let's wait for the 200 period moving average. Missed opportunity. You might have heard me under my voice say, under my breath, let's get some Nvidia, but we did not hit it. I'm still waiting to do that. If it comes back in, we will buy some Nvidia. I'm bidding right now 21s and then basically 10s, right where this is. We'll see if it falls back in, drop it if it gets below 134, but right now that is not happening. But oh boy, Neil, we are going right back into it now with SMCI. So yeah, good trade here. I'm at 41.70. Let's just keep our offer there. Hopefully it will fill and we'll see from there. But I like that trade right now for us on SMCI. 41.70 is what we're waiting for. If I can get right back there into the high of the day, that's right where it is. We bought the dip. I'll hit it anyways because I haven't hit this in a while. It's a $1 winner, basically. It's 81 cents in the money. We're 230 in the money over there on Palantir. Big Bear and MNTS, we're pretty light on them, but they're fading back out. If you are looking for some levels on Big Bear AI, you're right here, right now, at your 200 period moving average. My stop at this was much lower on this trade, that break right here. But now that we're not there, I'm actually going to play this break right now. With an hour left, if we don't hold right here, the 200 period moving average, let's just get out. That's 8. Let's go 869 out on Big Bear. So I'm going to cancel my initial stop down there in the 20s and just put an 869 fill. And we have many different stop orders. You can check out it all at Real Trading if you're here. This one will get me out of 100%. You can switch 50%. It's just a 4. It's out of it all, 25, 50, 75. But I'm just going to use all of it there. If it drops down, fine. MNTS, this one, we literally have 2% left, nothing left on this. My stop is already right here, breaking through 450. So if that breaks, we're out. Tesla's the one that I'm interested in, but that 56 may not come back. Something's going up for me right now. It's SMCI, I guess, because the net is going higher here, unless it's Big Bear. What's going on with Big Bear AI? Yeah, a little bit of a jump, but not really. Okay, so it's just SMCI. We have 25% left of SMCI right now. Did we get that 70 fill? No, I guess we did not know. So see, this right now is making me think, decision over. I'm going to offer 60s. Hopefully we get that fill at 60. Oh, we just missed it. And then we'll get a piece out there. I just would hate for this to continuously be the top, and then I'm not there. So that's SMCI. And then I do like the Nvidia pullback in if we're able to get it. So that's be the next trade that I'm waiting for, but it looks like that's off. And then Google 188. I would assume we're not there. No. So we went the other way on Google. So was it 188 or 187?
It was 188. No, it was 187.
187.
Okay. Yeah, for sure it was 87.
So we're not far away from that.
It has a chance to go.
Amazon.
This market's trying. Okay, so Uber is making its, I guess, dip by curl. So there's the dip. It kind of reverted that trend. The low is 78.28 on this recent pullback. So if it breaks the quarter, not actually in yet, but if it breaks the quarter, I'd be out. I'm just sitting on the bid here, trying to pick up. There we go. Pick up 45s. Like I said, if we lose this bid at the quarter level, VWAP's all the way underneath 78. So you're under 78 at VWAP. Our Rocket Lab's doing the same thing as before. Rigetti's nowhere near that. Okay, Rigetti just kind of kept falling. Okay, so we're probably not going to get 13th short on Rigetti. It's already at VWAP. That kind of came in a little bit faster than anticipated. You already mentioned Nvidia. Uber is still looking like it wants to do a little bit of a dip. I'd like to see this. If we get a bounce, let me just zoom in. If we do get a bounce here, I'd like to see it do one of these, like, not this, but like this kind of a curl. If it is a consolidation, look for an add on a higher low. We're going to get it going into the bid, but if it bounces off, puts in a higher low consolidation, I want to be able to add to it, keeping the same stop and play it back into the high. But I actually want to look for another short. That's sort of the thing. Like, I was looking at AMD. Here, let me zoom out. AMD and Intel, but AMD is well over VWAP. What I like about AMD, it just kind of has overhead resistance 111, 112, and it faded off of that. I was actually long it before, but it's not breaking VWAP. And then Intel would have been the other one. It's very close to breaking down underneath VWAP. I'm kind of thinking if this can lose VWAP here, I might take a short going through on Intel. Gurev saying Baba breaking highs. Yeah, Alibaba's been real strong here. I think it's just straight up. Baba's just headed for, what are we calling this top? It's like the, I guess the stimulus high would have been like 120. So it's headed for the stimulus high again on Alibaba. It's been pretty simple. Like if you buy it at 80s or 70s, if it's a trade for you, just get it out in front of 120. Seems like the way to go here on Alibaba. It's just so strong. 7% today on Alibaba versus
it's crazy.
Pinduoduo's up 2%. You know, JD it's a stock picker's market. I know it gets overset a lot of times. Like JD's up 4%. Ooh, that looks, okay, JD looks kind of spicy if it breaks 43 in the next couple of days. But yeah, Alibaba's just better right now. I like Baba the most. Candidly, I hold that one in my long term, so of course I'm going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, we were able to get out. I hold it too, but we were able to get out of that 117 last time. Did not rebuy it. Maybe should have down there, obviously, when you see where it is. All right, Big Bear AI. We'll be red on the name at the end of the day, but we'll go a little bit of a face slap. We're able to get back into it again. A pretty active name. It was on the top of my radar there. So that kind of sucks that it didn't continue this move throughout the open there. We were able to get great dip buys, man. I mean, $9. $9 is actually the level that we had written down. So we took it there, up and away there for Big Bear AI. So yeah, it just fell through. We don't have that anymore. SMCI, I did take a piece out here as a breakthrough 50 again. We did not get our 70 offer. You saw me offer it, did not fill. Oh well, we'll wait to get it back again. XOM, maybe the futures. So we just got out of the futures. It did drip down. Neil's in those two. I'm in these three. But the futures, like I just wish there was a little bit more happening right now. It doesn't seem like it's really worth putting too much risk in at these current levels. So I guess we'll have to wait. Auto cancel off. XOM, maybe Coinbase, maybe. We had some news about XRP and things like that. So anything Ripple related, maybe if we want to look in the coin space as well. But all right, Adara has news. Maybe we can trade something.
Keep an eye here on UNH. Not a huge day trade name, but I think worth noting. I'm just seeing this on social media circulating here. This new investigative news organization called the Capital Forum basically apparently just reported that 45% of UNH's revenue does apparently face legislative and regulatory risks. That's coming from the Capital Forum, an investigative news organization. This article, I guess, just came out today, circulating on social media. So be aware, apparently some regulatory and legislative risks for 45% of UNH revenue, guys. Back to you.
I mean, UNH isn't that expensive anymore.
No, it's not a very popular stock.
Have a look at that one.
Yeah, the 50 period is saying no. Ooh, there's an example of a death cross. Was it just a... So anyway, first of all, if you haven't checked out our new video on RSI, go and hit that one up. Dropped on the weekend, and we're going to have more along those lines. Let us know if there's anything you want us to cover, education-wise, topic-wise, with these new educational videos. Drop something in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of it, what we can do to improve, what other things we could cover. We have we're going to be having a moving averages one, I can tell you for sure. So this could have been an example of a moving average cross on UNH. The death cross. See, death cross. I mock the death cross, and not because it doesn't necessarily work. It means what it says it means. But oftentimes, I've found that some of the best squeeze trades look for a stock that did a death cross, but then maybe it has like earnings or something after and breaks out the top because it's a technical short setup, and then you can get a little bit more juice if it breaks it out. This one, UNH, with the death cross on January 30th and trending lower.
Death cross.
It's been under obviously a lot of pressure for other reasons, and you know their business practices certainly coming under fire, which makes it unpopular. I don't think it's that great of an investment in the short term unless you were able to get some of those bottoms down in the 480. This needs to get the 50 and the 200 back right quick. Otherwise, more trouble likely in store for them.
All right, we are still up. There must be some new people in the chat there. Every single one, it's like, do we show meaning of life video? Yeah, I was in. I could do that.
42.
Very, very soon we'll be doing that. No, every single one of these are our buys and our sells. So everything green here are buys, and all these reds are sells. And then if you want to ask us at any point, obviously we're here to talk about our day or anything you want to talk about as far as individual stocks, what the plan of action is for the Uber, the Rocket Lab, any of my 3 positions, as well as I think sometimes we do too much of a job of going over the same names. So that's why we're trying to look elsewhere. That's all. So we'll just continue to do that. Yeah, Stera Labs reporting after hours, as is, and Adara had sent me the list again. There was only a few like really big names that we're going to be covering after hours today. It is ALAB, and Vertex, which is VRTX. This implied move, this is a pharmaceutical, obviously a $500 name. Its last move was 23%. And its implied move right now is just 14%. So we'll have to wait to see what's going on with VRTX. But again, nice move down into 4 bills. It had its plays higher, obviously, but a nice move down and then some definite clearing out down there at 380, 390. What a capitulated bottom that was there for VRTX. Did we just get filled on something, or yes, we did? Okay, here we go. Yes, sir. All right, now we're getting right back into this right now. Still down a cup of tea, but we will wait to see if we can get some more out right now. Boom, big trade alert there for SMCI. So we'll prop that up to everybody. Oh, yeah. All right, where do you find the imbalance data on eSignal and all that? I mean, I want you guys to answer that question for us, actually, because I'm looking for more sources. Like right now, this is on the Real Trading platform. You can go sign up at Real Trading, realtrading.com, the prop firm that we are using. And this is all early looks, so you can see the time when they're updated and whatnot. These are only New York names. The NASDAQ names are much more important for this kind of thing, in my opinion anyways, so you guys can have a quick check on what's available right here in the imbalance locator. But yeah, so right now, nothing that I'm super excited about coming through there. Uber's with a nice bid, but this will all get paired off. So like, look, Uber has a buy under and look which way it's going. So yeah, nothing there. I see you're still long it, but this has nothing to do with anything. Buy, buy, sell, sell. You know, so you're just waiting for 4 o'clock when those will all pair off. And 350 is when the NASDAQ will come out. Okay, Jesus, Jerry, go ahead. Yeah.
So I don't, like, obviously we get market depth on our platform to be able to trade, and we get the imbalance locator on our platform. So we wouldn't need to have the entitlement for it on eSignal, but it is under the market depth window.
Oh,
so that's, yeah. So if you have entitlements for market depth, then you should be able to get it through there on eSignal. It's just that we don't have a reason to, because as I said, it's built into our platform. Allows us to see things like CSAI, which is halted. This might have been maybe the reason why the question got asked. Yeah, the theoretical auction price was 10.50. Now it's 11.33, which is exactly where CSAI halted. And if I pull up the locator and sort it by time, I would expect to see CSAI might be on here somewhere. There it is.
Yep.
Just saw it a second ago. It's all over the place. It keeps adjusting, but you'll see it pop up. So it should be one of the ones that's getting updated every time it pops into the top and then disappears, that CSAI. So again, we'll show you guys at 3:30 some early looks. Right now, I wouldn't expect too much. Just going to go ahead and sort that by size. Sorting by time is a bit of a mess because then every single update, something moves. But right now, there's not a heck of a lot that we'd be interested in. I mean, SU, not that big of a deal. Pins, maybe. They had a big move. Uber, but that's from the morning. I wouldn't be surprised if Uber were to have an imbalance today. But it was interesting that Lyft didn't do very well off that. I'll get to Lyft in a second. So Uber trying to revert the move. It never gave, as you can see, it hasn't made any higher low, so it hasn't given me a reason to add to it. If it can put in a higher low, I want to be able to add. It's still above VWAP as we speak. So if it can get that higher low set up on the 3-minute, then we can play it into the long.
I heard you mention this. Why did these guys get fired?
I have no idea. I just, I know you're looking at Sid Cicero.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know how long they've been doing this, but there's a local breakfast television.
I love Sid.
It's just, it's like a USA Today, but it's like Toronto version.
Yeah.
This guy used to be big into sports. I don't know where she's from, but yeah, I don't know. I used to watch breakfast television growing up. I forget Ann Romer, I think, and then there was some Italian lady that was from Woodbridge that was doing it as well. For a while.
No, but anybody.
There were some great characters on that show.
Yeah, like anybody who's from here knows. If you're a
I just don't know why.
If you're a sports person and you know Sid, and then he made that step. You know, it was. I'm disappointed.
Sid,
Like think of like Strahan going on the whatever show,
right. That's basically what it is.
replacing
Yeah,
Regis.
USA Today, I was talking.
USA Today. That's exactly who Sid is here, and like, how are you gonna can him? Like, why? I don't get rid of your best talent.
Yeah, I mean, I got an offer to go host there, but we were like, no. I mean, I'm doing this, and I can't trade over there. Breakfast television, come on, guys.
They probably have a great spread of
you guys.
pastries, so I'll say
I'm
that
leaving
much.
you guys. Yeah, probably they do. But SMCI, why the hell would we leave this? Because then who would give you these? Look, man, SMCI, congratulations to anybody on this, man. We are now $4 in the money on these positions that we're currently showing you. And that's all the positions that we really need. There goes SMCI. Let's go. Again, we had talked about this over and over again. We had brought this up to you guys on the midday show. It was long there. I said it 4 or 5 times to both Joe and Obi, but there it goes upside. There goes SMCI. I mean, everybody's on this name. It was on our watch list. Make sure you grab that. It was, I put out today, like, what are we trading? All you guys were mentioning SMCI. So again, I feel like it's not necessarily rocket science, but a great trade there for many of us on SMCI as it carries the day again for me into the close. So congratulations for everybody.
Nvidia's going
on
big.
Yeah, let's go.
Bigger.
I mean, Nvidia was the boss of the trade. It's too bad. Like, we were very, very close. Yeah, whatever. I mean, we were very, very close to getting long right there. SMCI is holding it for me, but yeah, there it goes. Nvidia. Love this name, man. It's a big name. We talked about it in the account, so we're happy with that as well. But so far, so good here.
It's just another case of that Nvidia.
Yes, sir. I mean, we love Nvidia.
You know that song?
No, I don't.
Just another case of that OPTA.
PTA?
It's Leaders of the New School, I want to say.
Oh, I don't know. For some reason,
That was Busta Rhymes.
I'm a lot
original
younger
group.
than you, so yeah.
I know.
Busta Rhymes.
I'm an old.
Okay,
yeah, LONS.
Busta.
Leaders of the New School. That was like 19. Oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother. I've already dated myself by even saying Leaders in the New School. So nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. But check them out. They were legit. Old school hip hop group. But Nvidia at 134.90, so 135 about to break. All right, well, if we're not dipping into VWAP, we're breaking 135. So it's that simple. Just get a stop order in there. And when I say a stop order, like a breakout order, because we can use stop order. Obviously, you can use a stop order to get in or get out. But in this particular case, if 135 breaks, we're just going to take it. So Uber still looking okay. Rocket Lab doing about the same thing. It's about 25 cents in the money, but I already scalped this level and looking for it to push a little further down. So maybe Power Hour is Nvidia hour, and we can get the breakout. Although every time I stare at it, they decide they don't want to go. Bedston Burrell knows all about Leaders of the New School, ahead of their time.
Apparently, yeah.
I would tend to agree with you. I can name a few old groups that you probably can't get. You got that one, but if I were to tell you, actually, the recognized thresholds of negative stress, if anyone can name that group, I'd be very impressed.
No, not I. All right, so, wow. Yeah, I mean, about SMCI going, and I'm going to take, about Palantir, $3. It's a beautiful day it's turning out to be right now, so far, so good. All right, what's up, Adara?
Just be aware of Instacart here, or Maple Bear Inc., CART. This one getting a little bit of volume here into the close, pushing higher into that $50 level. So watch out for CART. No catalyst I can see, but if I find anything out, I'll let you guys know. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara, for that one. Yeah, if you find out any catalyst, let us know. But
come on, just break it.
Yeah, I mean, all right, I'm going to take another piece out here. It's only 313, but I mean, there it is again, Palantir. Let's just keep on going with that one. Out another piece. We don't have to do anything, but yeah, let's just find this profit and just go with it. This is a position that we've held all day. This is a 10 o'clock position. We talked about buying the highs at that point. We are also buying the high on Nvidia. If Nvidia breaks 135, I'm going long. So watch out now. Here we go. Looking to break 135. I'm only crossed up, I think, 10 cents. If we miss it, we miss it. I'm fine with missing it because we already got the rocket ship that is SMCI. So let's just continue to go with it. I'm just going to wait patiently. Hopefully, Nvidia will break. And when it does, hopefully, we'll be able to get long. But that's that. So I'm just going to wait for that. And here it goes. It's SMCI and Nvidia. Good trades, but I like SMCI better. Up $1.70 right now on that trade alone.
Oh, sorry, Nick. Sorry, Nick W. I missed that super chat altogether. That's my bad. Appreciate you. Mind giving thoughts on ALAB, gap to 115 earnings tonight. So Nvidia there's about 1.2 million on the offer of Nvidia. So it's going to, it looks like it's going to break almost certainly, but there's a little bit that they're just trying to gap through or break through as we speak. So here, I'll show you your chart. You wanted ALAB and 115 for a gap fill. I don't know what's going on with this. Made the easy thing of pulling the trade IDs down, but shouldn't have. You want a gap fill. The thing about, if you like a 115 gap fill, I guess that's a speculative play because you're talking about trading it after it goes. 100%, like the first thing I'll look at if they have a beat is this prior support to try to hold above. And if it holds above, I'd look for a continuation on ALAB. But that's like 10% away on Astera Labs. Like usually you'd be looking for, I thought you were talking about a play going into earnings. But in this particular case, just refreshing, the implied move is only 6%.
Right.
And yeah, so like the issue with that is like, it's just like you're over 10% away from that level, like, and then the implied move is 6%. So it would take a lot to get there. I think that makes a continuation play. If it breaks 115, great. But if you're staring that one down, the last move was a couple points, and today's is half of what you need to break that level. So I don't think it's a high probability shot, but that just makes it even better if it gets there, I suppose. So we'll definitely be looking at that one for you. There's not a lot in terms of earnings that Sean already went over, so for sure we're going to be talking about it. It's just when the implied move is showing you not that much volatility. I just think of how many people got burned making plays on MSTR when the options market was telling you it wasn't going to move. And then when it didn't move, it's like we shouldn't have been shocked when it didn't move. And that's what Astera might be. Joseph Birch is saying, okay, so some people, you're saying 17% on Astera? Here, let me double check another source then. Yeah, I'm just going to go right here and check, hit the refresh. I probably didn't even need to hit refresh. It's probably already up here. And Nvidia just doesn't want to break yet. So ALAB, yeah. So take back everything I said. That is absolutely, it is 19%. I don't know why I saw 6. So yes, just reverse all of that and 19% expected move. The 115 break would be underneath that and does look good. Okay.
Yeah, I sort of looked at that.
I don't know why I had that as.
Well, whatever. I mean, there'll
be
different sources for different things.
I don't want to make I'm going to update the note here. I don't want to make that mistake in the aftermarket.
All right, good. All right, so Tesla's now 353. Congratulations to anybody that rode that short. We were all over it, but unfortunately it will be an L for me today, but glad that some of you took it, held it, and there it goes, Tesla, man. Just to be able to have held that. We held like, it's funny, like when there's winners, you can hold them, right? I mean, this is what I'm talking about with Palantir being big, SMCI being big, but it's like the losers, you got to get out, you got to manage risk, and I think we did that fantastically right now. We're out of Uber. We got out of Uber when it broke that 60 mark to the downside. We're long at 77s right there off the jump. So that was obviously a pretty decent spot for us right into there on Uber. So we'll have to wait to see if that can come through. Right now into the close. What else is moving? I want to check out some Starbucks. Again, really like the name. I just wonder about the China sort of relationship there. But well up, well off. You know, if you guys want to talk about getting some puts or something like that, I like the name, but it's so far off of its 50-period moving average right now. It generally doesn't do this. This is a Brian Nickel situation right there when we got that move all the way to the upside. So for me, I think I like this fade back in and eventually try to buy something on Starbucks around $100. It's only $317 right now. Geez, I feel like it's later than that. But all right, so Nvidia pulls back off of that. We did really great to get out of our, not all of it, but out of SMCI, out, 4240s as we get lighter. I only have 15% left now. Remember what we talked about? We had 40%, then we started getting some out, now 30s, and now upside again on that name. Looking at, we already looked at Tesla, Texas Instruments, GameStop, that's right. Johnny, I think it was you, Johnny. He's like, oh man, you're just ignoring me here on GameStop. Not at all. I have 3 positions, and I do honestly like GameStop, and we've talked about that. It's up that 10%. We talked about it with Michael Noss as well. That's how much we liked it. But again, right here, GameStop, $27. I mean, I really like the long off the 200 period. Let me just zoom this back out. But that's down here. We started that at the beginning of the show. That should have been a great trade. 25.50, great break long there. Can't remember what the story is. It is on our watch list though for GameStop.
It was literally just a picture of
tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cohen and Michael Saylor together.
Oh, that's what it was. Right. And everyone's like, Michael Saylor's short.
But also that he looks like, in the picture, he looked a little like Brett Favre. That was.
Oh, yeah, that was your comment.
was my
Yeah.
comment.
Shout out to Green Bay.
Is he that short? I don't know.
Brett Favre?
No.
Brett Favre's not.
Michael Saylor's short.
I was just, it looked like it in that picture. I don't know. Someone in the
Okay.
chat said that. I don't know how tall he is. I don't know.
I don't know how tall. I don't know how tall Cohen is to be able to make that judgment. That's
I
the
was gonna
problem.
say,
Like
I don't know what
you need the
short is.
frame of reference.
All right.
there.
So everything's going, man. Yeah, we're still doing some damage on the board. I wanted to look maybe a little bit. I hadn't traded
Nvidia's
Fannie
not
Mae
gonna
and
break.
Freddie Mac. I try to look at it. Did I get filled? Oh yeah, I got filled on this trade early on in the. Oh yeah, it was nothing. All right, so up 4%, not doing much. Sometimes I try to search for some liquidity on these names. There's not much going on there. We do talk about it a little bit. Roblox as well for the New York.
Disappointing day for Roblox.
Oh, is it? Okay, 4%. Yeah, down 1%. Okay, so yeah, not much going on there. You're right.
I
Disappointing there for Roblox.
actually thought Roblox was going to be a mover today. It was very close to like making the list. Thinking, hey man, like you hold on earnings, you put in a higher low, like right there. Like there's your support at 64. I'm like, if it holds 64 again, this would be like a potential breakout and fill the gap kind of setup. And then Roblox proceeded to do absolutely nothing. So, the only good news is I didn't trade it today because it wasn't doing much of anything. You can see it barcoding. I don't think it's over for Roblox. The fact that they had, so you had the SEC investigation, you had the initial dump on earnings for Roblox, and it just got bought up like gangbusters on the first move. And if it can hold some higher lows, I think that's a good recovery story. So Rocket Labs is starting to move back in. I still bidding in front of 29.8, but if it bounces off 30, I'm going to revert out of this. It's now 320, so you're running out of time for these continuation moves, and I'm staring at you, Uber.
Yeah, Uber.
Because it's pulled back. It's managed to hold the prior support, did the higher low, but then it's not following through whatsoever. I'm not letting this one get to VWAP. We're going to stop it out if it so much as makes a local bottom here on Uber. Well, I traded a couple times, but there's a distinct difference between this long, where it's just going straight up, and this one where we're catching the dip. So I don't want to give it all back on Uber here. If it can make another push back into like 78.6, we'll take a couple legs out. Not sure we're going to get that high of the day anymore here. Dinkelberg in the chat saying Netflix is unstoppable. You're right. The only thing that can stop Netflix is nothing, and then they can finally split. I just watched, what was it that just came to Netflix? It was the new Mission Impossible, finally.
Oh, is there a new one?
Well, it's like a two-parter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like Dead Reckoning. That's what it's called. Yeah, he did the opening at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I saw him. He does all his own stunts and everything. So
Yo, he's crazy.
I know, and he's
the stunt he does in this one.
Oh man,
like that dude is.
Is that where he's falling off of the motorcycle or something like that? I thought I saw something.
He literally rides a motorcycle.
Right. Okay, yeah. I saw that one. Yeah, the guy's nuts. But anyways, great, good for him for sure.
Good for you, bro.
All right, so it doesn't look like Nvidia's going to break. We did. I took out. So now we have less than 5%, or between 5 and. I don't know, between 5 and 10% of SMCI. We just got another piece out right there. I just was like, this doesn't appear to be going our way right now for SMCI. And maybe it is. I mean, we're $1.50 in the money. At some point, you take profit. And what gave me a little bit of a scare is that I was going over to Nvidia and I was like, maybe we buy this dip into the 50 period. So I actually got out of SMCI waiting for this, and then it didn't come in. It came in, but we didn't put any bids there. So that looks like definitely a missed opportunity right there on SMCI, on Nvidia, that dip by into 60s. I still want to take this 35 break. It's just not looking so hot anymore off that level. So that's something that I'm doing right now, looking for Nvidia. Palantir's $3 in the money. We're just going to, unfortunately, we never have enough shares when this happens, but then SMCI, then MNTS not doing anything. Google does fade off of 187. It never gets there. So that's probably going to be a short. Let's write that down for tomorrow on the short there. Look, we called Netflix a hell of a long off the earnings play. I mean, I really liked everything that they're providing there as far as live sports, and I thought that there was more triggers to be pulled there. Looks like Netflix continues to work. We just had that talk. I like Disney as well, but their earnings report wasn't the greatest, and they look like they're going to try to fade out a little bit today, down 1.5%, straight to the downside. Nice report. I don't think we ever got to 118. That would have been a huge sell, but you're underneath the 50 period and looking lower on Disney. I don't know where the 200 is lower. Yeah, so not a good report there. Missed the report. Now go underneath. This name's not looking great. It's DIS.
Yeah, that's actually surprising because I think
they lost subscribers.
Yeah, I know that's the thing. Like, they lost subscribers, but it felt like they were into that like the Boeing phase. Like, oh, you know, the worst is in, and you're sort of reacting a little bit differently. So you're at that point where you're kind of shaking off bad news, pun not intended. After Chiefs lost yesterday, so I don't know, Disney. The thing about it is, like, you should just be. Technically, it looks like a short off to 50 period. And when you look back, hindsight being 2020, that's pretty good resistance on Disney. Maybe there is a bit of a short trade in there. That said, got to look elsewhere. I think it was right to be shorting Tesla. And tomorrow, you know what? Tesla's the worst stock today for me. But I look at what it's doing again. I'm going to come in thinking short again tomorrow. It's just a matter of finding a better entry plan. That's what it comes down to. Tesla was a short today. It just wasn't the short that I traded at all, but it certainly was one. And that's all you can do is, like, what is the actual pattern in the stock? And the stock, to me, is a trend down. Nothing about that changed today, so I'm still going to look short tomorrow and just try to find a better execution. Maybe it's a flat bottom break at 350. Maybe we're trading off this resistance at the 362 to 363 area. I could probably zoom in and find that more precisely, but you just got to be able to look for that short. And skirt, is that SKRT? Was that skirt in the chat? Oh. Why are you guys not trading Costco and Walmart all-time highs every single day? Well, I can tell you why we don't trade Costco. I think that's probably an obvious one, because they refuse to split. You know, Costco, they're allergic to splitting for everybody to probably take some trades on. At some point, maybe they just don't care. So I shouldn't say at some point they do. But that's the reason not trading Costco. Walmart, I think on earnings sometimes we'll trade Walmart. It's a great stock. You know, I own this one, not Costco. I don't think it matters which you own. They're both great. You know, it's a good thing to have in your portfolio, right, to balance out some of the tech. But yeah, this one didn't make an all-time high today. But you have a double top there at the all-time high on Walmart. That does look like a pretty good setup, but it didn't break the top. Costco was the one that went today.
Yeah, definitely like some Costco there. Yeah, I think it's just to answer your question as well. I think it's just style, right? I mean, if you trade names with bigger spreads, then you may look at a name like a Costco and Walmart. Yeah, if it sets up, I'll trade it. I mean, today I'm trading mainly tech names because Uber is the only one really. I mean, MNTS, but I mean these are just like, you know.
What do they do?
They're just,
we know Big Bear, but
yeah, no, but I just mean like they're not really like the big cap tech names that we were thinking about. All right, so into the close 327. Let's have a quick look at those imbalances, see if there's anything left on there. And all right, Altimmune, is that ALTM? Is no, Arcadium. It's nothing. All right, so SUET, okay, so Juniper maybe could be something, but it's not moving too much. Oh, Pinterest we saw from last week when they did have earnings. SMCI is fading out. By the way, just to let you guys know, like Nvidia's not.
It's not breaking. I just canceled.
No, it's not.
Well, I still have that
I didn't
order.
Cancel. I'm still there in case it rips. But at the end of the day, it's coming back into the 200 period. So I think it's going to be a better dip and then rip situation than waiting for it to take out the bottom because, the top, because that may not come in 130. Well, we might actually get the bid that we were waiting for in the first place. I'm still bidding down here 134.20 is where we were the first place and never got filled. So if this comes in off of that, we'll like it even more. But I'll take a little bit of a bid here. Let's start the bidding in and around 40s. Right now for Nvidia, and then we'll put another one at 30, basically where the 50 period moving or the 200 period moving average is right now. That's 33, and then we'll just play off of that bottom 134. We break down through 134, we can get out, but let's play a little bit of a pullback in Nvidia if we're able to get that. That's a 40 fill. Let's see if we can get something. That's where I'm bidding right now at that wick bottom. So hopefully that will be something that we'll be able to play. But for right now, this is what I'm looking at. It's Nvidia, and we'll dip by it into 134, break lower, but below 134, and we'll get out of Nvidia. But right now, dip buying this name as it comes into the close. Futures still look fine to me, so I'm pretty fine with it. Let's just see where we wind up going, though. For right now, Nvidia dip buy. I'm bidding 44s and 33s, and then we'll reload it pretty decently if we can get down under here into the 20s, and then we'll try to lose. At that time, we'll be long about 30s, 30-something. 30 to 40 cent hit there on Nvidia, I think is worth it. Here comes, we're almost long.
Yeah, and here comes a bit of a bounce. Well, the market's not doing much of a bounce, but Rocket Labs is trying to make its bounce back into the upside. I still have the lower high as my out, but I'm moving it into this prior. It was a support level at the 3/4 on Rocket Labs. So I'm just going to move my trail slightly above it to make sure it stays in the money. Remember, it's an upward trending stock. And you know what? Even if this breaks, even if we shorted it late for a scalp trade, Rocket Labs closing above 31, presuming it actually makes the next 25 cent move to the upside, you'd have a little bit of a higher low, a lower high breakout, and then a potential to make a 52-week high on Rocket Lab tomorrow. So it was a reversion trade for me that didn't quite get to the 30 level, but certainly this is definitely an upward trending stock. I just didn't like the let's go long at the absolute high, but you got to throw this one on your radar. Rocket Lab's decent short float, although I haven't checked it in a while, and this could be a breakout potential play tomorrow after 12% today. Let's go to Adair.
Talking about Astera Labs earnings a little bit this afternoon. So with that in mind, they IPO'd last year, actually just over a year ago, March, or I guess just under a year ago here, March 20th, 2024. So I wanted to look at some of these returns since IPO date for some of these IPOs from last year. And it's notable, all of these major IPOs actually up from their opening price on IPO day. Reddit, though, is the most significant upside. We opened around $34, currently trading above $200 here. This is as of the closing price on Friday, up almost 600% from its IPO. So RDDT reports on Wednesday after the bell. Keep an eye on that. But ALAB, which inspired this graphic, up about 188% from its IPO opening price, also around $30. So keep an eye on both ALAB and Reddit reporting this week. RBRK, ZK, and TTAN were some other notable IPOs from last year. So check out this graphic on X at TTV Research. Should have a lot of exciting stuff coming, guys.
Yeah, Reddit's done okay for themselves.
What was Service Titan? I don't think that those, so I think those numbers are IPO prices, not actually traded prices. So hold on a second.
Titan.
Opening prices. Okay, so TT. Well, what do you have for TTAN though?
That's
as being up. What was? Show that graphic again. For Titan. I just want to. Do you have it up there, Andre?
101. It opened at 101.
Yeah, so it's not 48. So is that what meaning it's up 48%? Nah, so
no, it's up 4%.
Yeah. So that's what I was just going to say. That one definitely not right because there it is right there. Service Titan. Okay, that's fine. Take it away. I just want to see probably a typo. I just wanted to make sure. So there, Service Titan opens up at $99. It's at 104. So it's probably 4% there as well, right? If you're going to call up Reddit, RDDT,
to 5, actually.
saying, I just want to make sure. So there's Reddit as well because we're giving them
What
money,
a
right?
stock,
So Reddit opened up at $47. So that makes sense. That's up huge, right? That's 225. So 50, 400%, right? At least. So a little bit under 400%, a little bit over 400% for Reddit. So yeah, man, I mean, we talked about getting 10 baggers. I mean, right there on Reddit, that's 4 or 5 times right there on Reddit. And that was just from the summer. So great graphic there. Thanks to Dara for that one. All right, we just got some more Nvidia. We're average price right now 38, so we're flat on it. If you're lighthearted in this trade, then you can get out. We are now long with Nvidia against 134. Again, the market's okay. I feel like up 1 and a bit. I like the long here. So we're going to do that with Nvidia and see if it can print out a little bit for us here. So Nvidia on the long downside. We're long out right now, right here, 138.38, 134.38. Tomorrow, 138. For Nvidia,
yeah,
so we'll wait to see.
Wait a minute.
Right there, if we can. I'm not using VWAP, by the way. I was using this break right here, so 134 breaking lower, because we're at the 200 period. So we'll give it a little bit of room right now for Nvidia. So far, so good.
There's also, by the way, that CSAI that was halted that a few people were asking about. Opened up and continued to go. Now up 165%.
Bye-bye.
Liquidity is at a premium. I just felt like I didn't show you guys a daily chart, which I think when it looks like this is a little bit irresponsible, should show you what the stock has done so you understand the context of this bounce, right? So yeah, it's a relief rally to be sure on tremendous amounts of volume, but no one ever went broke taking profits, right? Like this is $50 and straight down, bouncing off 6. You're going to have all kinds of levels here, like $18 to $20. Looks like a little bit of a level here on CSAI. But yeah, when these start to go, I think when you got them early, congrats. And then there's lots of room for it to go up. But then understand this is already done one kind of 180% pullback in a couple of weeks. So if we were to do it again, it should not surprise anybody. Just always I always say when in doubt, zoom out, and that's one thing I know I don't do enough of. We'll talk about it on the show, but if I'm not going to trade it, then I don't show the daily chart on it. So Uber is still in the same range. It's not really doing much. I think we made the right decision to get out of Rocket Labs here, as it's almost back at the high of the day. So we covered, and it's right back into 31 at the absolute tops to the upside. Don't want Uber to go. I don't know if you're still in Palantir, but that looks like it wants 116. 116 is the high today, but the high, there you go. The actual top from last week, so the fresh high is like 116.28. So you do have like the all-time high, like 25, 30 cents higher from here, even though Palantir is at today's high of the day. So it is an all-time high breakout at 335. The last time it did this, it was actually a good break. If Nvidia is not going to break, then maybe Palantir. But I kind of prefer the all-time high break to the 116, which is already coming on.
I mean, we dip bought in Nvidia, so here's another 20-cent winner for you. I don't know. I mean, I'm taking it out. I'm not completely in love with this trade again. I mean, we just wicked up to 70. I thought it would go again. I got some out at 52s and then right there at 57 on the 50-period moving average. Where am I waiting? I'm waiting at 78, right into here, actually right above this little level. So into here, thinking we could get it. It looks like we just wicked out up to 68. So I've been taking some out there on SMCI, as you guys know. So some more outs as we get lighter and lighter into 335 right now. So let's just continue on that long right now. Palantir, Uber, Nvidia. Yeah, just Nvidia. So Nvidia is my newest position. We'll wait to see. We got out of, let me see how many, oh, this is the first time I traded it. So 8, I don't know. We only got out of like maybe 15% up there. So let's wait to see what winds up happening. I want to hold this into the close. Hopefully it can be there one more time for us. So that would be that trade. Tesla's still there. Uber was a great trade for us at 77. We talked about where we're.
We just got a super chat about.
Oh, we did. Okay, we're long in our own account at Uber at $67. So
yeah, I was mad at myself because I know you got the reload in Uber much sooner, and then I got like the worst price because I was waiting for it to hold a 50 period at the end of the week and then buy it the next week. Ended up with like a trash. It was actually like high 68s. Which looked really, really bad, but it was getting back into a position when I had sold it a while back on the S&P 500 news or whatever. But it was Nick Dubs in the chat with a super chat right now. Thank you very much, Nick W. We appreciate all the super chats. All we ever ask, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share with your friends, join our community, and let's grow it together. Let's get to that 500K so we can do some axe throwing for you guys and see who's the best axe thrower. I'm lobbying for that to be part of our celebration party and not bowling or something along those lines. So get us to that 500K likes. We appreciate you so much. And so, yes, I also like a swing on Uber here because you're doing everything right. Pullback, I like mean reversions as much as the next person. High or low, it held the 50 period and then play it back into into the local high, which would be about 86. So I like it. The only difference is it's not a trade for me. I was looking for a place to get back into it in the long term to not sell it. Let's go to Adair.
Yeah, just keep an eye here on MSOS getting a big push to the upside here. This is the cannabis-related ETF, so also keep an eye on these cannabis names like Tilray and CGC. I'm seeing these articles circulating on social media. Basically, apparently a DEA official, who is of course speaking anonymously, said that apparently the DEA is still moving forward with its marijuana rescheduling plans. This article came out today from the Marijuana Herald. And so, yeah, just to give some context here, why this was in jeopardy is because if RFK Jr. is confirmed here as the head of Health and Human Services, he's actually not known for being pro-cannabis, and he's declined to speak on whether or not he would be pushing this rescheduling forward. So the fact that the DEA, apparently a member of the DEA, said this rescheduling might happen regardless, that's a good look here for MSOS, pushing higher with volume TLRY, ACB, and CGC are other tickers to watch with this. Guys, back to you.
What his opinion is?
I was just sort of saying, Sean, I would think of somebody that's anti-big pharma, would he really not, he's not for weed? Okay, that's fair enough. But the one in that space, ACB is the one that's going. And MSOS, when there's news, sometimes the ETF is the right place to go in a general sense to look at what's going on in the space. But from an individual standpoint, CGC got burned, pun intended, after their report. ACB blew up and has actually made another fresh local high today, although it might not actually close above it. So strong moves here. ACB another 9.5%, and this looks like a bit of an upward trend here on ALB. Oh, that's seriously. I just heard that Elon Musk made an unsolicited bid for control of OpenAI.
I'm going to go short.
Yeah, I don't want him. Why you keep doing this, Elon? So that's going to send Tesla. You can see Tesla heading to the downside here.
Maybe
so
not.
Unsolicited bid. Elon Musk led consortium making an unsolicited bid for control of OpenAI is what we just heard in our ear.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Well, I'll try a short. Tesla's starting to pick up a little bit in volume right there. So I don't ever like, I'm only trying a little short. Like we've already talked about losing today on Tesla right now. I'll try a little bit here, see if we can make $2 or so back into 350. That sort of we wicked down to 351. I just went over there and my thought is, if this is what's the case is going to be, is that, again, just distraction. I had seen the talk about when he was looking to buy Twitter and eventually obviously did, that a lot of owners and traders and all that were a little bit upset that, of course, a lot of his focus now would be elsewhere, not on, there it goes, not on Tesla, but
97 billion bid.
Yeah, 97 billion, yeah. So, all right, so it just went up there. So we're just trying it there, but we did wind up losing. We got out 53.50 for a small little hit, but that's interesting news there for Tesla. Our Nvidia, meanwhile, we were able to get a nice bid down there. So, okay, this is starting to go a little crazy because, again, if they're trying to bid out and buy some OpenAI here, I don't know what that means for Nvidia or the space, but right now,
I'm just sort of thinking.
Yeah, I don't know what. Nvidia.
Wouldn't it be positive? OpenAI is trying to make their own chips to battle Nvidia. If Musk is going to buy them, it's so that it would stay not profit, because that's been his position the entire time. And if
53,
they're not a for-profit business, I don't think that makes them much of a competitor for Nvidia if you're not trying to make money. So that would seem to me like if it were to happen, it's good news for Nvidia. But sometimes you analyze these things too much, and that's probably a long-term thing. And I have no idea does Elon have a chance of pulling this one off? Who knows? But the idea is he believes that OpenAI should be
350
open and not for profit.
There we go.
We only have about 8 minutes. Yeah. We only have about 8 minutes till the imbalances come through. For real, you still have. I mean, I keep an eye on the sell of 900,000 on Pinterest. Most of these, like Juniper sell 1.1. I don't know if there'll be big deals. That is, ignore the ALTM. That's like a buyout. I should actually maybe even look at that to see if it's being deleted today. I know this company is being bought for cash, so
Nvidia.
This might actually be a deal that's closing. So watch out for that, but it's not likely to move very much. You got a small bounce. At this point, Uber is bouncing like 15, 20 cents at a time, so that's all we're going to take.
Okay, good job, Neil, there. All right, so we are right now back into Tesla. So now we have a position on. Looks like it's going to be we always had a position on, but now it's starting to come in just a little bit here as we watch out for Tesla. So we just shorted it at the 50-period moving average there again. So let's see what happens to the downside. We still do have this trade to deal with right now with Nvidia. This is now $1.50 in the money, so I'm going to try it. Okay, Nvidia is going to break lower. I mean, right now, we'll just try it because it's at this 134. This right now is just going to be a small little hit. If that is what it is, it's going to be breaking back down below these levels of 134. So watch out now for that as a possible trade. Let's get lighter on it now as it's starting to go back to the upside here. So we're long on Nvidia, we're short on Tesla. I'm going to get at another piece right here if we can on Tesla and see if Nvidia wants to go higher right now. So this could be a good move up for Nvidia. It just needs to happen first. All right, 134.25s we're at right now on NVDA. Yeah,
and remember, in 7 minutes, everybody, well, you guys already know this, but the imbalances are going to come out in 7 minutes. NVIDIA is notorious for having decent-sized imbalances, so you're likely to get a shock. Someone asked me, are you shorting? Intel's at VWAP, but I don't love the trade here right in front of the imbalances. I'd usually be taking this flat bottom break underneath VWAP on Intel. As a matter of fact, I know I said I was taking this trade, but now it's 344, and it still hasn't broken this 1970 level, which was support at 11:30. At some point, it's a little bit late in the day, and I don't want to take that trade at like 349 or 348. So I think we've kind of missed our shot at it. So far, Uber again is just being a little bit of a scalp trade, so it'll be a small win. Like compared to what it gave you earlier on the upside, like it's just not wanting to get back to that high, which is fine. I'll like a 79 break on this tomorrow as long as it closes above 77. Forget 77. I mean, yeah, 77, but I mean, look at on the daily chart, it still looks great. Continuation plays until you get to at least 84 on Uber every single day. The other thing we're going to be looking at there was that RKLB. I don't want to take the break, and we got out of it on the short. It got right up to our entry price and pulling right back in. But it's up 11% and was super strong. Did not want that one going all the way into the high on us. So we ended up with a scalp trade of, we get that 1 point there on Rocket Lab. Super strong name. I would probably lean toward continuation for this as long as it's closing above 30 for tomorrow. Nice opportunity. Bouncing off the 50 period, higher lows all the way through. Might have been a reversion late, but it's still an upward trend. Rocket Labs, I'd look for the rocket ship to continue tomorrow.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? So that Nvidia was a good trade to get. Oh, that's still Tesla. Sorry, that Nvidia was a good one to get those bottoms. But for right now, we're just gonna get out of this one as the market tries to figure this out. So we're out of half already of Nvidia. Hopefully, it holds 134. It's not looking great. We got some more outs here on Tesla as we just made this. So we just made this back there. It's gonna be relatively flat. I mean, I know how much I was down on this name. If we get out now, it'll kind of be a flat trade. We're up $1.50 right now on this position. So far, so good. Palantir is still $3 in the money. We're going to get out of this one come the close pretty soon as well. So yeah, no, not a rough day at all. It was a rough start for us as we lost our daily goal there on Tesla early on. But now we are absolutely, oh yeah, it is a $2 winner right now for us on Tesla. But here it comes, 5:30. I hope not. I hope 5:30, but right now, no. 352 right now coming in for Tesla on the downside, and then Nvidia trying to hold it out. So we'll be at the highest spot we've been at all day, but that's only because we couldn't get off going with that initial trade with Tesla. But okay, here we go. Just let's watch Tesla as it breaks lower. We're short this name again. We were short early. We're short again here for TSLA. There goes Nvidia, by the way. So it's actually a flat trade for us. It just broke lower there on Nvidia, able to take it out. But I'm just going to ride and see what winds up happening now with Tesla. It just bounced again off 52. I'm putting another bid here. Oops, that's sorry, that's the TQs. We'll put another bid down here at 52. Nvidia could get back going, but there's only 3 minutes until those imbalances. So
that's the key.
I'm fine getting out at 134 break there. Because if Tesla goes to the downside, this could be huge. Like if there's a big seller on this, man, I don't know what to expect here. I'm going to put a bid at 350, 351.05. Put a bid, and then I'm going to put another bid at 350.25s. See if we do get an epic flush here into the close, and we'll put another bid at 348. So here it comes in for us on Tesla, and let's just see what winds up happening now. So, all right, here we go, Tesla. Palantir still $3 at the high of the day, Palantir.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to Adair. We've got more news.
I just really wanted to provide some context here on this story about the Elon Musk-led consortium trying to bid for OpenAI. So it's worth noting this Wall Street Journal actually has a quote and information provided by Mark Toporov, Elon Musk's attorney. Elon Musk also used Toporov for his OpenAI lawsuit that started back August 7th, 2024. So he and Toporov kind of go way back when it comes to these OpenAI suits. Toporov said, or apparently Elon Musk said in a statement provided by Toporov for Wall Street Journal that it's time for OpenAI to return to the open source safety-focused force for good it once was. So this does actually seem like Elon Musk is behind it, or at least his lawyer has provided statements to the article, or to the article that broke the story here, guys. That I think that's definitely worth noting. Wall Street Journal actually having a quote from Elon provided by his lawyer, guys.
Thank you for the update there. I'm sure we'll keep hearing more about this. I can't imagine any shareholders would be happy with that. It's just like Sean said, it's a distraction thing, and whether you think it's a distraction or not, the stock has been punished before when this has happened. So we saw that with Twitter, and it was a rough time for Tesla, at least in the short run. And how else is he going to raise funds? With the imbalances coming in just 1 minute, I have a take profit at resistance at 78.6 on Uber. and we're just going to look out. I suspect there might be some imbalances. I'm going to have Nvidia up, but then this thing, if it gets big enough, that ALTM, I might have some eyeballs on that one as well, because I think that could be a deal closing. But we'll see. With 1 minute to the imbalances, I've tightened up to always tighten up stops, but I've tightened up the stop to break even on Uber. I'm canceling an Affirm stop, which I don't even remember why I still had that, because I got out of Affirm a while ago. But yeah, imbalances in less than 30 seconds. I'll hang on to the long for Uber, see if we can't get a push into 60. If it comes out of sell imbalance, I should get taken out at break even.
All right, just real quick, scan that that QR code below. We got to get to the imbalances in less than 30 seconds, but this will give you e-signal for free for 1 month. So that's basically it. I mean, we love the program. I've been using it for many, many years, over 20 years. And then just now, Sharif, Joe, and Neil are all getting accustomed to it, and Adira as well. So we'll be showing you more and more highlights with the e-signal platform. Get on board with it immediately. Scan that QR code. First month is free. I mean, the back testing, just the different. We talked about OB was, reversion, some of those trades. You got to be able to backtest these things and find out what's good. All right, let's get rid of that. Thank you so much to eSignal for everything. All right, here goes the imbalances. They are now out at 350. So let's figure that out. We did get out of Palantir. Nice downside push for that one. Other than that, SMCI, ALTM, we talked about that, Bausch & Lomb, TLT, Juniper. I don't really see anything. Intel missed $20. That sucks. Nvidia continuing with the sell. We tried it, guys. It was in and out. I mean, that could have gone the other way. I'm very, very happy with that one. We're down a cup of coffee on that. SMCI remains a bid. I think it's worth probably taking something out of SMCI right now, as we're already long, and we take that opportunity. We just put an 11. We missed it. Okay, maybe we'll get it. There it is. Give it to me. Give me those 11s right now. There it is. Okay, good out there for us on SMCI. Getting lighter and lighter, man. Tesla, we're still waiting. $2.30 in the money on TSLA. At the day's low. We might as well take something out. But oh boy, this is making us smile a little bit here into the close on Tesla, although it just went up. Hopefully it falls in a little bit and we'll be able to get that bid. But good trade there at the end of the day. We'll make a little bit back on Tesla.
And someone asked why was I in Uber long? Uber's up 5%. It's been trending up for, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks. You can look at a daily chart. Been trending up for 2 or 3 weeks. It broke VWAP. It dipped into VWAP and held a support level. So that was it. But it got to 70. Hasn't been able to break out 78.6. So we'll like it potentially for a breakout tomorrow, provided nothing crazy happens overnight. You never really know.
Nope.
And shout out to you, David, in the chat for the super chat. We love all of our viewers. Just got out of bed and saw a Dear John letter from my liver. What a game. My Tesla down post-it note was making me money while sleeping it off. Yeah, Tesla, we like to short today, was a short, and still, what can you do? That said, I guess it was a great game if you're a Philly fan. As a neutral fan, not liking either one of those teams, I didn't find it was the most entertaining game, but I can appreciate unbelievable defense when I see it. Like, that's cool. It's cool to watch. Those guys just get absolutely thrown around. It was a good line that they beat up.
Yeah. Oh boy. Thank you everybody for watching. We just got 351.05s. So we just get $3 there on Tesla at the end of the day. So again, we talk about you never know where your money's going to be made. And we had lost on Tesla. Then we had that wicked opportunity there to make it back. Wicked awesome. So there was a good trade there. Palantir does come out. We got out of that one. We talked about it at the 50 period. Not a great out there. SMCI, great outs, man, at 42.20s. Right back to the high. We got saved on this one as it was the other way on the imbalance. There's only 3 minutes left. We had such a busy weekend. I was very, very exhausted. I got to go back over. The daughter's at practice again tonight. We're going to go check that out.
Talking about practice?
Yeah, too much practice. But whatever. My wife does it all, so I just go for fun. SMCI, there it is with the bid imbalance. So just wanted to show that one. We'll wait on it. Right now we're sitting on $4 in the money. Neil's flat. We've got the $4 right now with the SMCI long, which was really the trade of the afternoon for sure. Because of the movement. We reloaded it twice, boom to the upside, and here it goes right now. So I hope some of you were on it. It was a good trade there on SMCI. We'll see if we can continue to make these trades for, but again, we just trade what we see and we react after that. So just like this, here we go in for Tesla. Again, let's see if we do get a little bit of a turn up here for Tesla, meaning do the imbalances sort of wash higher, or do we keep coming to that low side here? So right now, Tesla is on one to the downside on that report of Elon Musk trying to look at, again, the.
Well, he's
open-
made a bid apparently, isn't that? Like,
Yeah, I guess so.
I interpret that as
we'll wait to see how it.
if you make an unsolicited bid, that would mean that you have gathered the team together and you've sent, you know.
Yeah,
it's out
unsolicited,
there.
I think, is the key too. Right?
The question would be who's in it, how much is Elon having to put up? So, you know, like I don't know, is it 5%? I have no idea. We'll get the details. 94 billion, and then he could be half, he could be 10% of that. You have absolutely no idea what that might be. Tisha Perkins, shout out to you. I know it's late and it's 5 minutes to go. This SSSS stock is making some pushes to the highs, but it's done 1 million shares and it's now 340. But it looks like it was a decent runner. When you have a late run on a stock like this, with not a lot of volume, maybe you look for like a day 2 type play. And I pulled it up, like maybe this could break out tomorrow. But 1 million shares, I don't think there's any opportunity. There's one with a couple names today. Uber has bounced and Rocket Labs to the short side.
There goes that.
Uber might actually break out the high. We were joking that it wasn't going to get to the high today. It might actually break that 79. I actually don't want it to break 79 right now because then that trade is not there tomorrow for a clean even dollar break on Uber, which continues to be super strong. There were no imbalances to really flip, although NEE, that one a buy of 1.5 million. That can move every now and then. If that were to stay, we've seen that stock do some moves. Like 1.5 million actually that's a third of the day's volume. Why is this on Blue Ocean? But that's a third of the day's volume on NEE, so it might be worth a look if that were to stay a buy and balance in the last 5 minutes.
Neil, we're over $5 in the money right now. Look at this MCI trade just ripping to the northbound side right now. Congratulations, all y'all, in that one, as we'll continue to watch out for SMCI trades. And then obviously Tesla as well just touched 350, 350.50. We did not get to 350, my bad. So we'll have to wait to see if that one can get down again as well. There was the trade for us, 350.50, right? 350.60 downside play there for Uber. We'll see if it comes back in one more time for Uber. For Tesla one more time. Here we go, man. With Adara, just a few minutes left, 3 minutes left. Let's see if we finally get that 350. We're at 350.25 for this trade here on, I almost said Uber again, on Tesla. Where does Uber close at? 78.60. Good trading on Uber today. We are definitely long there at 77. So that was a good one. Come on, Tesla. You can do it. What's up, Adara?
Just be aware here that Donald Trump apparently speaking on Fox News right now, so keep an eye on DJT. Apparently, there's nothing that he's really said here yet that would necessarily be market moving from what I'm seeing, but just be aware, Donald Trump speaking on Fox News, guys. Keep an eye on everything there.
Yeah, that can move. Look, that can move anything late in the day. You never know what's going to get said, but I don't know. I feel like DJT is not even the place to be on that one. All right, just canceling all of my orders. Great trade on Tesla to the south side. I think you just got to look for it to be a short again until it breaks trend. It just looks like it's been a short. Just tracking here. Nvidia bounced off. There was no imbalance for it to revert, but at 355, it looks like there was a bounce anyways. Really not a heck of a lot on the locator here. I was looking at that NEE.
Look at Palantir.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm probably not going to trade that one. I was looking at it, and it was looking like it was going to be pretty good with that big buy and balance, and then it shot up when it stayed at 55, and I don't think you're getting a very appealing price buying up at the top. So it's a significant imbalance, but I wouldn't be punching long at the highs, unless there was an index action, which there is not. So only a couple of trades this afternoon. Thankfully, they both worked out, and I think we'll look for continuations for sure, at least on Uber out of the two. I'm going to head on up to the desk. We have Astera. We have Adara at the desk. Our market recap show will be joined by Michael Noss, as always. So we'll see you guys in a couple.
All right, good trading. All right, here we go. Yeah, so we're just watching basically these last two positions try to do something. SMCI, we just got out at 43. Obviously, that's going to wind up being a decent trade, and then we'll wait to see if Tesla can print us. I'm going to get out of one more piece right here, just in case something goes wrong in the after hours, but we only have about 30% left. I just put a bid at 351.13s. One little push down, we'll be able to get that. So good short there on Tesla. Only 2 minutes to go. Thanks, everybody, for watching. It's been a great one. Oklo a buy. Yeah, maybe. Come on, Tesla. Let's go. I like Rigetti the best just because I've traded it with pretty good success. Still waiting to get a little long. You know, the name that I really want, everybody, you know, we've done so well on Palantir. I don't necessarily, by the way, Palantir, I want to buy some Big Bear AI. If this can fall down, we may put on a Palantir type play and see when moon that. 117. You know, on earnings, when Palantir went to 98, 99, $100, we thought that that was pretty extraordinary. It's 1.7, like it's up 16, 17, 18%, you know, from where we opened up on earnings day. We ended at 99, 99.50 or so land. All right, SMCI, let's just see. We're almost out of everything. I'll probably take this into the after hours just a little bit to see where the prints come through. All right, with only 30 seconds left to go, we'll go back over to the page here and then figure it out with Adara coming over. Thank you, everybody, for the day. There's some memberships being gifted in there. Thank you so much, Nimrod, there with the memberships to 5. Get in there and grab them. Come on, Tesla. You can make that next move downside as well. Let's go, man. Big shout out today for Obi. Obi will be the man lifting the trophy. Good trades there today by Obi. All right, here we go, Adara. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I got to take some more water. All right, thank you for that. Yeah, Hydration Nation gets going there again. We're going to be back tomorrow, man. It's going to be a great one as well. Tesla, nice move. We have $5 in the money at the end of the day there. I hope some of you took that Tesla. I definitely hope you took the SMCI. That was a much easier trade. We had seen that going pretty much all day, and we hopped on board with SMCI. Tesla is still going, man. We're still bidding. We almost got it, man. We're at 350.25. Right now, 350 in the money on Tesla. Can we get a little lower with lack of liquidity here in the after hours? How low can we go with Tesla? Thank you so much for joining. We'll probably get this fill, I hope, in a second on TSLA. From me to you, thanks, Bears vs. Bulls, and we'll catch the rest of you tomorrow. It's the recap show. Ciao.
Thank you very much. We got the market recap locked and loaded for everybody. As you saw that move there in Tesla, it was not a very good day. I'm going to have to restart this. I have no data coming through my chart. But you saw Tesla breaking down on the news that Elon Musk and a consortium, don't know exactly who's in the consortium yet, don't know exactly how much of it is going to be Elon and his cash, interested or making an offer, $94 billion unsolicited to OpenAI, which in theory would make it difficult for Mr. Altman's plan for it to be a for-profit company. So that was weighing on Tesla stock near the end of the day there. I don't know if Derek can show the chart there as mine is not the data. I'm just going to restart it. But obviously to the downside went TSLA, looking awfully weak. We have a couple of earnings coming through with VRTX and Stereo Labs as well that we're expecting right after the bell.
We already have Vertex. So yeah,
Vertex,
I mean, this Tesla chart, pretty gruff. There's a couple people involved here. Apparently it's XAI, which of course is Elon's AI, Valor Equity, and 8 VC. So some venture capitalists and also XAI are involved there. But VRTX here, speaking of things with X's in them, this one actually having, okay, I'm seeing, okay, so their adjusted earnings per share, a miss, $3.98 versus $4.03 expected. Their GAAP EPS, also a miss. That's going to be $3.50 versus $3.57 expected. Sales, though, apparently a beat, $2.912 billion versus $2.781 billion expected. So they did beat on sales, but they missed on both adjusted earnings and GAAP earnings per share here, apparently, for VRTX. We are expecting Astera Labs to come through at 4:05 p.m. Tomorrow morning is going to be a pretty big day for earnings as well. We've got like Shopify, we've got Humana, we have BP, which is also in play today, so it should be a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, Shopify, I think, is going to be we don't know how they're going to do, but I think will be the showstopper in terms of trading opportunities for Shopify. That VRTX, Vertex here, yeah, not necessarily going to be making the breakout the way it's going. It's flat now. Well, maybe trying to press a little bit higher. Show you a 3-minute chart up here. Tried to press a little bit higher, but when you pop out the daily chart here, not a lot of movement, not a lot of excitement. If it can't get going off that 50 period, that's the kind of thing that's just not going to give you any opportunities to trade tomorrow. You want it trading at a new price. Lose the 50 period, you can look for some shorts. You break this out at 490, and it would be at least impressive to the upside. So we'll wait on Astera Labs. Certainly would expect that could be a little bit more interesting. With the expected move being over 17% on Astera Labs, and it moved significantly last time as well. Like it was, 18% the implied move. It was double that on last earnings. As you can see here, Tesla continuing to hold the lows at 350. now a double bottom. The stock, it's been a short for a bit. We're talking about this as a short trade for a while now, and you're continuing to see it bleed lower and lower. There is some local support. I know Joe was talking about this. There is some local support on the daily. If you get about $20 from here, like 330 was a decent ramp spot. Well, if you look at this, it was a big bounce off the 330 level. Seems like that's where we could be headed there on Tesla to said downside. But when we get Astera Labs coming through, that's fireworks. Because anytime you're talking about more than double digits expected move, 37% the last time, and it's got gaps above and a gap below that can potentially get filled, this one could be an absolute rocket ship. And that would work in either direction here, Adara. Certainly looking for this as a continuation trade tomorrow. 7% short float as well on AAPL.
Yeah, I mean, I think that short float is certainly significant there. We saw here, I've just put out a graphic on X or TTV research. These IPOs are up significantly from how their IPOs were priced, a lot of them from 2024. So I think that's certainly, there's been a lot of strength in those areas. Reddit as well, which is up significantly from its IPO as well. It's actually reporting on Wednesday night. So certainly something to watch here. A lot of those names that we did have coming through, like being introduced to the market last year, starting to get some of these moves. And now we have Astera Labs earnings
Oh yeah,
out.
there it goes.
So I'm seeing here apparently $141 million of quarterly revenue. That is a record, and apparently it's up 25% sequentially and up 179% year over year. How does it fare? Okay, so it looks like it beat estimates.
118.
I'm seeing estimates of 128.2 million. They're seeing apparently, like they reported 141 million, so that would be a beat. Apparently their fiscal 2024 revenue of 396.3 million, that is up 242% year over year. So that is quite the look here for ALAB, but again, sometimes the estimates we have are not the same ones that the market uses as a whole, so we're going to wait for those numbers to come out here.
Yeah, and just so you know, it got all the way from 103 to 118, so it did put in a pretty big initial move to the upside, but we're already pulling right back in here as Astera Labs, so the volatility definitely there. It's still up on the session. Now it's threatening to go red. So that was a huge breakout, going $15 to the upside, about 13, 14%, right back into the lows, and now you're trying to bounce. Not a lot of liquidity. We always talk about be careful. It's one thing if you're swing trading or trading in options or reacting to earnings the following day, as opposed to trading it in the aftermarket where there's not a lot of liquidity. You don't want to get kind of rug pulled on something like this. We're buying into those highs. So obviously insane moves were expected. But even with that up and down of $15, you still didn't even do the expected move when it pushed to the upside. It was 18.7% the expected move to the upside in Astera Labs. And as a matter of fact, it did fractionally lower than that. And yeah, actually, when you look at this, I just saw Nick W saying you think it's a lit grab if it goes to the downside. When you pop up the daily chart, it's got some support underneath here as well. So just watch out. Astera Labs, a fraction of the expected move. Sometimes in the options, yeah, they know what they're doing. And the market makers for now seem like they have won, as we didn't get as big a move as we expected here on AAPL.
Yeah, and I think too, let's go when the chat is asking, were the numbers good or bad? So the thing is too, is there's no such thing as good or bad earnings. However, I can tell you they're up sequentially about 25% quarter over quarter for their quarterly revenue. That is apparently a record for the company. But that revenue for the quarter also represents a 179% year over year increase. So that would be a pretty good number. You also have a 242% year over year increase here for their fiscal 2024 revenue. So yearly and quarterly revenue both up more than 100% on a year over year basis. And then again, quarterly revenue as well for that Q4 up about 25% sequentially. So these numbers seem good, but again, sometimes it depends. There's different estimates that certain people use, like the estimates that we see aren't necessarily the ones that the market's going to use as a whole, especially when you're talking adjusted numbers. So we'll have to wait and see. It does seem like they beat, though, across the board.
Yeah, great clarification there, and that's why you want to make sure that you get the goods, do your research if you're ever trading on these earnings. Astera Labs right back into the bottom as well. So it's actually threatening to break lower on Astera. It's bounced twice off $100. It's trying to make a third bounce off of 100 even on Astera. If it loses that bid,
yeah,
there might not be a heck of a lot underneath that, at least in the short term here in the aftermarket Adara.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it keeps Astera stepping to the downside. But in terms of the actual numbers here, we did get, as I said here, sales 141.096 million. That is up significantly year over year and quarterly. But it is also above estimates of 127.983 million. So that would be a beat. Their Q4 adjusted earnings per share also a beat. 37 cents versus 26 cents expected. Also, Lattice Semiconductor came out, so their earnings per share here, 15 cents versus 19 expected. Revenue, slight beat here, 117.4 million versus 117.09 million. So slight miss on EPS, beat on revenue. Gross margin apparently down 690 basis points year over year. So that is a pretty mixed report here for Lattice. Their revenue guidance pretty weak for Q1 2025. Their EPS guidance, a slight beat. So really mixed look here for LSCC.
Yeah, and there goes 100 on Astera. So it did break the 100 level. Ooh, maybe the liquidity grabbed it. So it just came back on the bid at 100, went all the way down to 98 in the first look, and coming back in here. Just to show you guys the daily chart again, like you lose the 100 level, like the next candle wick was actually 88 on the daily. So if you lose this area, I mean, the last time it was underneath here, you had one basic day from 88 to like 99. So that is a pretty precipitous gap. And remember, this is a stock where you expected 18.7%. All they've done is rinse the top and then attempt to rinse the bottom and have an inside move for Astera Labs. Just to quickly go back over, I actually saw someone in the chat saying, is this OpenAI Elon Musk story, what does it mean for something like a Microsoft? We don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know what it means for, because ultimately, what would Elon want to do with this is the other side of the story. What we do know is that nobody ever likes it as a Tesla shareholder when he's distracted or having to sell shares for other purposes. So that's what we do know. I'm not going to sit here and speculate like I know what's in his head or what this is going to mean for Microsoft or OpenAI. I think that's the kind of thing that we'll certainly learn about. What we do know is that Elon Musk has definitely been against for-profit. He thinks that OpenAI should have been a nonprofit from the beginning. That's one of the reasons him and Sam Altman never got along on this issue. But you're now breaking lower, so Tesla continues to dump to the downside. I saw this too. The IonQ making a little bit of a move. I think there might have been some news here on IonQ as it bounced. It just bounced a couple of bucks, but 5% move there on IonQ as that one heads to the upside. Although I do believe in just a few seconds we're going to be joined by our good friend for a little bit of trade talk. You know who it is. It is the NOS boss himself for Trader Talk. Welcome again. We've got Michael NOS from Stats Edge, our favorite CMT, and the mean reversion was all over the place today, Michael. There were plenty of opportunities. I don't know how many you saw, but there were several names that were on uptrends that they were able to buy the dip and the support levels. And you've been talking about it, that this is the kind of market we're in. So thank you for coming on again. And hopefully today was a good day for you.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, everything happened. I wish it could always be this perfect, right? But Burlington stores for us cold Canadians, I bought a bunch there, a couple other small trades, but yeah, it just continues to be that market. It continues to be, this is Burlington I was looking at. This is the kind of market that we're looking for, and this is the market that the setups that I have trend following setups, of course, and long-term investing ones, they just aren't performing nearly as well as a lot of these mean reversion ones where things just get a little bit too extended. And I think that's just because of the market, right? I don't think there's anything, you got to look too far. That seems to be what's happening in the market. We get these big gap down and reversals and gap down and reversals. And today was no different. This, I don't know if you guys showed you guys this candle, but this is the spot cash contracts. And right off the open this morning, where was it? Right here. This was the opening candle at Sunday night. We gapped down pretty big because of this China tariff, whatever, and just ripped. And it always seemed to be the same. I wouldn't be shocked if we get a big gap up tomorrow and then it sells off. So it's definitely a buy the dip, sell the rip market, which is great if you're a trader. Not nearly as much fun, I don't think, if you're a long-term investor.
Well, I'm with you on that it's a good environment for trading when you get that kind of sentiment. But it's not necessarily the end of the world for the long-term trader. It's just that it's been so easy for the long-term investor, I suppose, to buy the dips, and then you don't have to have any patience when you're buying the dips in the long term. Mm-hmm. But that's not how it usually always is. I just think, when you've been around a while, hey, we buy the dips this year, and you're just going to have to understand, hey, if it's for a long term, what difference does it make if it doesn't do much of anything for a couple of quarters? you're just not going to see 20% in the market 3 years in a row. That's just not how it is. I think you just need a little bit extra patience, maybe with those long-term plays. I think they'll be fine. We're still in a nice little upward trend.
But yeah, and we shouldn't, right? It's no different from if you're in a day trade. It's almost bad if you're in a day trade and you buy something and it just rips up and it doesn't stop and just keeps going. You almost get a little bit nervous that when the profit taking comes in, it's going to come in pretty big. So I 100% agree. This choppy action in the market overall, I think is very, very healthy. We need to digest. We had back-to-back 20% years. I think we need to digest this a little bit. We need to see some rotation under the hood. And then maybe the end of this year into the next year, we can set up for another leg. So yeah, couldn't agree more. It's not fun, though, when you're looking at your portfolio and it's not changing. But I think overall, for the long run, the action we're seeing is certainly healthy.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. We had a lot. There were a lot of strong sectors today. We saw Chinese names were good. Energy was pretty strong. Gold was good. Like there was plenty of places you could look for strength. I know you've been talking about sort of like the places you could buy the dip. Crypto and Bitcoin in particular. A lot of times when you get that strength, it's like, okay, it's a risk asset. It'll do all right. This might have been, I could be wrong about this, this might have been the biggest nothing burger day on IBIT in quite some time. What did that mean for some of the other, I know you look at some of the smaller cap names, some of the smaller tokens and coins. What did that mean for them when you're this sideways? I didn't pull up IBIT once today to even consider a trade. That's how boring it was.
Well, Fartcoin was up 33%, so that's
of course it was
something.
Of course it was.
But no, you're right. And I think I've got the actual cryptocurrency up here now, and this action, if I zoom really in the last few days, I have never seen the closing prices, like just focus on the closing prices here. We have a big topping tail and bottoming tail, and we closed. Like I've never seen this particular action where we just can't get going in either direction, even for a day, it seems, in Bitcoin for a long time. Now, we've been talking about, me and you, Neil, with this range and, not really taking too much action while we're in this range. And that's one thing, but that's a, 20,000 point wide range. I'm just talking about just the last few days, just not able, just doji after doji after doji. And then we look at some of the other ones, like we mentioned with Ethereum, is broken and under support, can't seem to recover. Solana is okay-ish, but still stuck in this range. And if you look at the last week or so worth of action, not able to go anywhere, it almost feels like the crypto world is waiting for something. I don't know if there's, I have to go look it up, if there's some sort of scheduled talk about this Bitcoin strategic reserve or whatever it is, but it just really feels like we are hard stuck in a range and we are just waiting for some event to move us one way or the other. If I was very active in the crypto space, I know I'd be very frustrated right now because just you buy a breakout and it gets faded. You short a breakdown, it gets faded. So it feels like there needs to be some sort of announcement one way or the other. I was actually even on Kalshi today looking at the probabilities that Trump will do a Bitcoin strategic reserve by the end of the year, and the probabilities that they're dropped to like 40%. So it just seems like everyone's waiting, but I don't know. With a stock, you wait for earnings. With the market, it can wait for FOMC or inflation print or something. I don't know what ends up shaking up Bitcoin, to be honest.
Well, it's one of those things where maybe you go to Kalshi and when that little drop in the odds of the strategic reverse, maybe it'll revert, like it'll break the downtrend and break back up, and it's as simple as that, and then all of a sudden it'll get going. But I saw that chart of Solana in there. I mean, look, Ethereum hasn't looked very good for a while, and you looked at three things: Bitcoin, the weird price action, but Solana has a pullback right into support. I mean, it hasn't really done anything off that support yet, but that sort of comes back to that's where the opportunities might be. Maybe it's just a scalp trade off that support level, a little mean reversion trade. Obi loves those trades here on the show. When I started out as a trader, actually at the beginning, as a prop trader, I was basically only trend lines. So like reversions and holding of trend, that's all I did at the beginning, and I'm really starting to get back into that more. It's something Obi and I talk about. That looks great on Solana and might be an opportunity for people to start to look for those types of trades. Do you see anything else like that? And please, were you joking about Fartcoin? Is it really? really
No,
doing that?
because it's funny. Just to go to my chart, I can't believe I'm like a serious CMT. Just look at this. So you were talking about that exact setup, and that's exactly what we're seeing on the Fartcoin. Full disclosure, I own a non-consequential amount of this because exactly what you're talking about. It's at the end of the day, it's charts, and this is my favorite setup. I know you trade this setup. We talk about it all the time, and I'm just going to talk about why I love this setup, and we'll just forget what asset I'm talking about for a second. But you have a prior resistance area, so there's going to be shorts that took place there. There's going to be people who missed the breakout and really wish they got this coin for whatever reason at this somewhere between 40 and 50 cents. So when you get back to that, you have short emotions, you have long emotions, and when you see it dig in like this, and I'm showing up 30% today alone, when I saw this on Sunday, I think I actually put out a tweet and said, am I actually going to buy this thing? Everybody in the comments said absolutely not, so I went and did it anyway. But it's the same setup that you're seeing right here on Solana that you mentioned. And this kind of coin is built on the Solana network, so there may be some correlation there. But if it breaks out and then it pulls back to the breakout zone and it holds that support, again, if you took all my quantitative tools away, every indicator, and you said, okay, Mike, you have to feed your family by trading, I would look for this exact setup to occur over and over and over again, because I know exactly where I'm wrong in this trade. If we break down this kind of 40-ish cents, I'm wrong, it's time to go. The risk reward I get is absolutely phenomenal on these trades, and you're following the trend. So yes, I am embarrassed to say it, but I'm a holder now, and it's not even just a little bit. It's a fair amount.
A trade is a trade. You know what? I learned this very early in my career. I've said this before. Like, I started out trading big cap tech stocks, was positive in my second month, but I wasn't really making any traction. I moved to small caps and instantly graduated. I moved to penny stocks and tripled my net like the first month after graduating to full-time trading.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. A trade is a trade. Do you have a setup? Do you have an execution plan? Is there enough liquidity for you to be able to execute it and hopefully scale up? Those are the things that matter for a trade. And as long as that's there in Fartcoin, and I can't even say this with a straight face, even though I'm being serious about this, then it doesn't matter. Like, everyone's like, oh, how could you do this? It's a trade. And it's bad to say, but the only thing you care about in a trade is being positive on it and making money on the trade more than you lose when you have a bad one. So that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Just I know we're kind of going on here in time a little bit. I have to point this out because this just happened, and it's not related to you, but we were talking about this that Elon Musk is attempting to make an unsolicited offer, or made an unsolicited offer for OpenAI. Sam Altman responded via X. I'm just going to read what Sam Altman said here for everybody.
It's going to be good.
No, thank you, but we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want. Obviously, so the unsolicited offer was for 97.4. So he just basically took 1/10 of that, and of course that'd be a fraction of what Elon paid for X. So as you can tell, those two are, I guess they're not friends. They were together. I mean, look. They were together in the beginning. I don't know if it's like a Bill Ackman, Carl Icahn kind of thing at that point, but certainly it's going to cause some fireworks. And this is the kind of volatility we're going to be in. And Tesla was a great stock that was in an upward trend. Now it's doing a pullback. And my thought is, people keep asking, where's the bottom going to be on Tesla? I don't know. It's trending down. When it makes a bid and breaks that trend up, that's when I'll start thinking about longs. I'm not trying to catch any falling knives on stocks this year. I want to see clean reversion type trades there. It just makes me chuckle. Like, Sam Altman clearly has.
Elon responded.
Oh, apparently.
One-word response.
Let's go to Dara.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we have a one-word response here from Sam, or from Elon towards Sam. Swindler.
Oh boy.
That's all we got.
So what's interesting is that Microsoft isn't moving at all on this news. Like, I brought up the chart, and they're just staying away as one of the majority shareholders in OpenAI. So I guess maybe the shareholders of Microsoft are a little bit too mature for the back and forth antics on Twitter. But I think it does kind of highlight, and you were insinuating this as well, Neil, we are in a different market environment than we were even last year, in where you giant tweets weren't coming out and moving multi-billion-dollar companies a couple percent. And even when it happened with the S&P 500 with the tariffs, a tweet comes out and the whole market gains a couple $100 billion worth of market value over a number of days. So it's good to focus on the technicals, but it's much more important, I think, in this market to have a risk management plan, because you could buy Tesla because it was a nice looking chart, at least a little bit ago, if we were going to hold these prior breakout zones, the same setup we just talked about, but starting to bleed now just because of a tweet. So make sure you do your analysis, you have your plan, you understand that, especially in the world we're living in right now, where I'm buying Fartcoin and the richest man in the world is tweeting at one of the other richest men in the world about their companies. Anything changes quickly, so make sure you have that exit plan.
Well, looking at your Tesla chart there, Michael, I'm assuming when I see that nice little downward channel, which is something I'm eyeballing on Tesla, that when you take those profits in Fartcoin, swing trade in Tesla, if it can break that trend. Actually, is it not better if it presses the wedge into that support a little bit better? Maybe even like slightly breaking it to trap some shorts or get some weak hands out, then reverting the trend. If it breaks the trend here, I kind of feel like you want it to go a little further down for the optimal trade.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just playing off these prior highs. It's the same, and this is the beauty of technical analysis, right? We went from Solana to Fartcoin to Tesla, and there's the similar chart that you can play the similar way. You're playing against a breakout point. And the reason I chose this point on Tesla, and I can probably highlight it a little bit better if I just do a little box, just these prior highs right back here, is because this is the breakout that happened in December. We were hanging out around these highs. December happened, we had this nice little breakout. So we're just looking for where the emotion is in the stock. So there's probably a lot of people who are shorting against this level. They're now back to even, so they potentially could cover. There's a lot of people probably who wanted to buy it around this 350 area. They missed that initial move. It's back down to their price now. But you're right, even better than something that stops right on the dime and reverses, something that bleeds a little bit in to, shake out some longs, to trap in some shorts, and then reverses from here could be interesting, like you're talking about with the top of the channel. I think this is just kind of the easiest way. If you're trying to plan the exact entry on something like this, you're like, oh, well, what constitutes a bounce off this level? Trying to figure out an exact where do I buy. I think in a perfect world, we do just some sort of chop against, maybe we break out and then we just do something like this for a couple days and then we break out, just using the trend line as this will be the moment to close above that trend line is what I'm looking for. If we see that, I'll get involved. I'm wrong under whatever the swing low is. I'm going to try to target all-time highs and see if we can break through it. But again, just like I said with the other ones, what I love about these setups is I know exactly where I'm wrong. Right. I don't have to think too much about it. If we get a close back under whatever the swing low ends up being here, if we end up getting one, that's my out and it's time to move on.
And this is exactly why we appreciate having you on there. Like, it's just reasoned analysis, so you can structure a trading plan, so that you can keep it simple. And then the best part about it is, if you have a trading plan which is that binary and easy to explain, well, then you can actually track the data on it. Like, you can strategies of that nature can be back tested. They can be forward tested. Things that are a little bit more discretionary, very difficult for you to quantify outside of looking at your P&L every single day, there are strategies as a day trader, that's part of the game, but for the most part, I think as a swing trader, and to a certain extent as any kind of a trader, it's very important. And that's why we love having you on, our favorite CMT. I'm telling you, everybody, what I love about it is you can get Solana, like you said it, Solana, the Fartcoin, to Tesla, and all be looking at tradable setups that we can all benefit from. We appreciate having you on, Michael. Can't wait to talk to you at the end of the week. And have a great trading week, of course, and look forward to talking to you again.
I look forward to talking to you guys, too. Hopefully I'm a Fartcoin millionaire by then. We'll just see.
Hopefully everybody is, although I don't know if I will be. Thanks so much, Michael.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Michael.
I chuckle about it, but he's laughing all the way to the bank on Fartcoin because it is moving. And you know who else is laughing? Anybody that bought the dip on A-Lab, which it didn't quite make it to 88. So boo to you, A-Lab, for not going. This is the candle. We're talking about this candle right in here. There's your 88 support on the daily. It actually bounced clean off of $90. And when I say clean off of 90, I actually really clean off 90 right back to 104. So from bottom to top, you have 90 to 118, but that doesn't really count as the expected. So you do have that much volatility, but it's still only 2%. So a very much inside day. If you simply sold the rip or bought that dip, you had to wait for the best prices possibly. Ooh, this is a good one. Actually, I'll answer this question. Before we get out of here and do the roll call, Lasse Hansen asked, why do you wear 2 wristwatches? I don't. This is a Whoop. So it's like it's like a fitness tracker thingy. Like it's not even a watch. It does absolutely nothing except track vitals, sleeping, all that kind of good stuff, steps, like everything you would get in a fitness tracker. So I've been wearing this for a few years. I just have this watch, which this is like my lucky trading watch. It was the first the first major purchase I made when I started making money as a trader. And I still wear it every day to trade to remind myself that I'm not the guy that wears expensive watches. But like a lot of people do when they have first good month and you're young, you spend money on something for yourself. And anyway, so I bought this for that, and I'll probably never buy another expensive watch again. It's not, I have nothing against them. It's just not really me, although I thought it was really cool at the time. So thank you very much for that. Whoop is fantastic. It tracks my sleep. We talk about this as a trader. It's really important to make sure you get good rest. And your mind is fresh, and I've always been a really terrible sleeper. Runs in my family. My dad was the same way. Been an early riser. Some of that is I just don't sleep through the night very well, and I do the right things, and I can track to see what works for me and what doesn't, and it does help for sure. So Astera Labs, still only up that 3% here at Dara, but you know what time it is?
Yep.
Not time for more back and forth between Elon and Sam Altman.
Oh, there is more, though.
Although there is.
There's so much more.
There is more.
Oh, my gosh. Elon Musk said, never a dull moment on X, and then posted, scam Altman.
Yeah.
So, 10 out of 10.
Hate.
I want the next Not Like Us diss track. Like, where's that at? Where's the next Ether? Where's the next Takeover? You know what I mean? I want, like, all of these iconic rap battles to come back through Sam and Elon.
True that.
We're not going to get that, but we can enjoy.
You know what? What's crazy about it is like you have 2 incredibly successful, really smart dudes, and they're just like hate, get a little bit of a disagreement. It's like, whatever happening to be able, like, there used to be a time when you could disagree with people and it didn't mean like the end of the world. Like I actually, at the dinner table, you could talk about anything, and it's good to disagree so that you can discuss different perspectives, and you can learn from each other. And now it just always turns into arguing and insult. I have no idea when that happened. Scam Altman. Just maybe don't agree with the guy. You're both very smart. But before we get out of here, I just want to remind everybody, if you want to be part of Roll Call, then you have to be in the chat. And to be in the chat, you've got to be a subscriber. So hit the subscribe. Let's get to 500,000 so we can go axe throwing with the team. I really want to go axe throwing, everybody. I missed it.
Is that what's happening?
The company did axe throwing a few years ago, and I don't remember, but I think it was in the afternoon while the market was open, and I was a risk manager at the time, and somebody had to stay there for the traders, and I think that ended up being me. That's why I didn't get to go. So I'd like to do axe throwing when we get 500,000 subscribers. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, everybody, and let's get some roll call on. Big shout out to the entire team, especially to Ramin on the 1s and 2s all by herself today. Hopefully Fabian gets better. Thank you to Andre. Thank you to the Midday Crew, the Bash Brothers. Replaced by Obi today with Sharif. Great job, Obi. My man Sean, of course, Brandon on the desk, and Adara, as always, dropping the news knowledge. And thank you so much, Bears versus Bulls. Time for roll call.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone in the chat. Thank you to Neil, Sean, Brendan, Sharif, or who's not here today, but hopefully he'll be back soon tomorrow. Joe, shout out to Obi, oh boy. We have Andre, Fabian, Ramin, and we have Bears versus Bulls. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you to Sam and Elon for keeping our lives interesting. And thank you to Walt Winchell, Catan, Joseph Birch Music, Trey Only, Drop Trades. We got Neil in the chat. Raul, Crypto, FOMO, Redo Stocks, Hurt Scrambler, Sir Poopy Paper Hands, Fizzbot, Chachi, Sunny Shiba, Donkey Trader, Phil, Muhammad Ali, great name, Canna Club Chicago, Yoshi G, Marcelo Prieto, Poor Robin Hood, Los Pollos Hermanos. Shout out to Breaking Bad as well, Better Call Saul, and Giancarlo Esposito, one of my favorite character actors, Rob Jenkins, Hans Beer, Stock Trader, Sir MM, Martin, Skirt, Trade Scientist, Vizbot, Mario, or Marie. Sorry, it's Marie. I apologize. Marie, my contacts are very bad. Naps, Aris, Mad World, and Jesus 619 JCan will end there. And yeah, guys, we're going to have more Sam and Elon beef probably tomorrow. I'm going to find some way to make an infographic out of this because that's what I do over here. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll find out tomorrow when we find out more market stuff.
Perspective, like a respective net worth you could do.
Right? Or like, you know, tweet timeline. We'll think of something.
There's lots that you can do with that. And a shout out to Sunny Shiba in the chat. Love that name. One of my favorite all-time hip-hop groups is Camp Low. The Sunny Chiba, the Geechee Suede. They can get that glow because we're going to push it to the limit and live it until we swim in them digits. We're going to get that glow. And you know what we get to do tomorrow, everybody? Come right back here, as Adara said. Why? Because the markets never sleep, and we are Trader TV Live. We'll see you in the morning.